We are live. We are live, and the coffee is pouring. Come on in, everybody. We're waiting for Varian to show up this morning. He might not make it. He might have just slept in.
Yeah. Yeah, we stayed up late last night.
Not too late. It's pretty much how late we stay up normally.
Oh, really? Okay. Because that's usually way beyond my bedtime. But like I said, the conversation was hot. So
one of these days, we're just going to keep the camera rolling and just watch everybody go.
Yeah, just see what happens.
We'll just keep nudging everybody in the private chat, dude. You're live. You don't want to say that.
No, yeah, that was a thing because the conversation got a little grimy afterwards, and it's like, but that's part of the fun.
It is. It is. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Come on in. Hello out there. If you're listening to us at on Indie Volt Radio, welcome aboard. Come on in. Nobody is in the chat yet this morning. We have a good amount of people listening already. Hey, it's Thursday morning. You should be awake. Good Lord, most of us are probably working or trying to work.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Come on in. How you doing, Brian? Brian Rodman's in the house. Good morning, friends.
Oh,
good morning, Brian.
Good morning.
How are you? Good to see you're here. You're the first one in the chat this morning. Oh, we should also. I got to go in and make our conversation public on Facebook. That might help as well. Though there's nobody commenting in my section. So.
Oh, okay.
I did send out a lot of invitations this morning, but I'm not sure who's going to be in. Meredith apparently isn't up yet. She said she was going to try. So she's probably trying as we speak. So if you're out there in the chat and you want to talk some funny books, let me know. This is the Breakfast Buzz for 11/19/2020. Welcome aboard. Corey Scott says, good morning. Good morning, Corey. Hope you're doing well. Cameron says, Juan Valdez and his trusty monkey. Good morning. Good morning. So if Pop says, my damn coffee, absolutely.
Damn straight.
Coffee, yes.
Hey, Pops.
Brian says he's doing pretty well. Coffee makes everything better. Yes, it does. Yes, it does, especially when you're used to drinking it for a few years. It becomes a habit, and you don't realize you're addicted until you don't have it.
Well, there you go.
Yes, absolutely.
The only difference is that you don't have to go. You don't have to be sent to a special place to get off coffee addiction.
Well, anyway, we'll have to go to a special place if we don't have any coffee.
That's true. That's true.
Morning, all. Pop says good morning. Good morning, Cameron. Cameron says dinky. Okay. Dinky to you too, Cameron. Hope you're doing well. Come on in, everybody. Don't be afraid. We don't bite.
Huh?
If you're, okay.
It depends on the coffee. It depends on the amount of coffee.
Walking into we see somebody in the green room. He's probably stuffing his face with the M&Ms back there.
Oh, okay.
Before he comes up into the main room. But host Varian Grant is in the house.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Good morning. I just got pinged. Standards and practices is telling me to what?
You mean these aren't you said M&Ms? These aren't Skittles? Why are they sweet?
Breakfast of champions.
Oh dear God, why are they sweet?
I don't know what to tell you there.
Let's see here.
Brian says, haha, those special places would be filled with most Americans if we had to stop drinking coffee. Yes.
Yeah.
They're already to capacity as it is.
Huh.
Those special places are literally at the breaking point. I think we had the mental health department in our county said,
oh boy,
handle it.
Oh, I was wondering what we're talking about. Talking about the
coffee addiction and
coffee addiction.
Yeah. You said like those special places. You mean the Laughing Factory?
Oh, wow.
It's all kind of names for it. Nut House, Funny Farm.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Nut House. I got too many friends now that are at the breaking point.
Wow. Yeah.
So these restrictions are driving everybody over the edge. So, hope you're doing all right where you are. Everyone, come on in. Cameron says, I got to get ready. I got to go to the VA. I'll be back. Love you. Take care, Cameron. Have a good day.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, Mr. Payne.
I saw it every morning now. It's a nice handful of Skittles.
There you go.
Start the day right.
Sugar rush as opposed to caffeine. Okay?
Mm-hmm. You know, I got that too, but very little of that now. One time a day, and
yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it's not fun. It's not fun. But I'll just say this: I've been getting a little more reading done, and I picked up a book the other day. It was free because I told you what I found out about some of the Scholastic books.
Yeah.
And I got King Lear, Macbeth, and the other tragedy. Crap.
Hamlet.
Hamlet. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. All three of them in one book.
Oh, some fun summer reading.
Yeah.
Was it in prose or did you pick it up in sequential art?
No, it's in prose. It's in prose. Actually,
I don't think they've done adaptions like that for about 10, 15 years.
Yeah, I still have a manga like redo of Julius Caesar that I held on to from back then.
They had a guy who was running a company out of, I think it was California, that people were doing modern book adaptions for in sequential art. And we're talking like Think and Grow Rich, and not that it's a modern work, The Art of War by Sun Tzu.
Right.
The kind of books that you wouldn't normally find as classics illustrated. A lot of self-improvement books that were extremely popular. Yeah, it was real interesting. I don't know where the company went, but they probably ended up losing his shirt or something.
Well, you know, it's a tough, that's kind of like a tough market. You know, it's like translating Dale Carnegie into comic book form. Yeah,
he did.
Oh,
that was one of the books. It was very interesting to read. But I like stuff like that anyway.
Yeah.
Sequential art interpretations of different things, always fascinating to read.
Here's the problem with Dale Carnegie. It only works if the other person has read the book as well.
Well, you know.
Otherwise, you're screwed. I tried that for about a month. I was getting stepped over, pissed on. And they're not pissed on, but you know what I mean. Yeah,
well, you know.
It was you get stepped on. You get stepped over and taken advantage of.
It requires a certain level of commitment. Because I read the book too, and it's kind of like it's when it's a mutual thing, it's a lot easier.
Yeah. It's one of those books that you read and you're like, this is great. Yeah. I'm gonna try this.
It makes so much sense.
Yeah. And then you walk out.
So in the end, it's like I ended up reading Machiavelli's The Prince instead, and it worked out better.
Yeah. Suddenly you're sitting. Oh, that's how this works.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Ding. Yeah.
I do also own a copy. I have not read it yet.
There was the ding.
But I also own a copy of Art of the Deal, which I understand he did not write, but he said
he did.
Allegedly.
He said he wrote it, but whether or not that's actually true is.
The thing is, though, it's like a lot of these celebrities don't really write the books that they write. It's like, I don't know why that's the concept is so surprising.
He probably did a lot of dictating.
And, I don't know if because it doesn't read like his speech pattern either. So
well, but also you got to remember too, his speech pattern now is very different than the way it was back then. You got to remember he was a New York icon for decades.
Yeah.
So we had to listen to him for a long time. So it's like the way he talks now is not the way he used to back then.
Yeah.
Welcome to Politic Talk, folks. Just kidding.
We didn't say his name. We haven't said his name. So
right.
Pop says if you don't eat the cake, you won't have a weight problem. Cuomo is on a roll. LMAO.
Yeah, it's
I don't think he was talking metaphysically there.
No, I don't think so either.
Pat Koala, Pat, it's been a long time, buddy. Where have you been? Dang it. I haven't had my coffee yet, and this is making me crave. Absolutely. Get your coffee.
Yeah.
Get your coffee. Turn us up. What's the breakfast buzz? I got to get ready. Oh, got to go to the VA. Yeah. Okay. All right, Cameron. We'll see you. Hello, everybody. Daphne, congrats on
thank you.
Being on Comics and Comics Unlimited. I'll get mine soon. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I have to post more links to that. I've just been having a crazy couple of weeks, so trying to get so much done.
Brian says Skittles, breakfast of champions.
Sure is.
No, actually, if you saw this morning's thumbnail, you know what the breakfast of champions is.
Yeah, it's Skittles.
No, it's pizza. It's pizza.
Oh, it's pizza. Oh, definitely, yes. The only food that's perfect, hot and cold.
Yeah. Hey, Glenn, how you doing? Glenn Fleming says hi, guys.
Hey, guys. Oh, hey, yeah. Hey.
Pop says if you don't drink the coffee, you won't have a spieling problem.
Exactly. So obviously, you still need to drink the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm absolutely loving that classic works are getting sequential art release. We need more sequential biographical works too. Yeah. Very, very true, Brian. And there aren't enough out there. But anybody that does them, every company that does it, hasn't stuck around for an incredibly long period of time that I know of.
I don't know. Is it like it's because it's such a niche thing? I mean,
or is
it just because they're not real books? So.
That stigma is slowly breaking up, but they have to blaze their own market is what they have to do.
Right.
Because you can't. A lot of Diamond probably looked at it and passed on.
Oh yeah, well that doesn't help either.
We don't like this. Isn't really a comic book, is it? It's a book.
Yeah. Who wants this? You know. What, you're expecting normies to walk into a comic book store? No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Who wants to read a comic adaptation about the art of war? Well,
yeah, exactly.
Actually, I found it pretty entertaining.
No, yeah. Just it's like I said, it's like I really enjoy my copy of Julius Caesar as a manga, and you know, it's just it's accurate to the source material. So
yeah,
you know, it's just a different way of seeing it.
Bob says sleeping problem or a dyslexic problem. Okay.
Why not both?
Sarah's in the house, says good morning. Good morning, Sarah. You're always welcome, and thanks a lot for listening. How long do we have to watch this coffee port? Just a few minutes longer, Pops.
Yeah,
Why
we're just getting ourselves together.
Is it making you want to run to the restroom?
That's a different issue.
That's a different. Yeah. Well, we know Pops ain't getting any younger. I guess body shaming and COVID restrictions go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm. And now you're in the house, you can't do anything.
Marv says, "Hey, Pops." Pops says, "Hey, Marv." Hey, Glenn. Hey. Everybody's saying hello to everybody in the chat. Hey there, says Glenn. Hey there. Comic Talk. Pops says normies. People who do not read comics are not normal. Here we go. Morning, all. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
That's another program. Morning, Joe. Never mind. I want to see your smiling faces.
Oh, how sweet.
Not until after we run the opening.
Yeah, once we run the opening, I want to show you guys something.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're going to have to run the opening then.
Yeah, I guess. The chat seems to be percolating enough, so, you know.
All right, let me get to that here.
Hit it.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. There we are.
Some men aren't looking for anything logical, like money. They can't be bought, bullied, reasoned, or negotiated with. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
And there we are. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome aboard. It's the Breakfast Buzz for 11/19/20.
Ain't we pretty?
Thanks for coming on board.
Ain't we pretty?
Ain't we pretty?
You know.
So I've been
I know what you wanted to show us now. You wanted to show us that t-shirt.
No. This is my grass t-shirt. I love it.
Although I know Mark, it's your grass.
Yeah, Mark doesn't like it anymore. He's like, oh my goodness, where'd you find that? I bought them all. He had
the bottom of the drawer. Those shirts usually come out the day before laundry day.
That's how you know you have to do laundry when that shirt comes out.
And he had them at a con. He had them for cheap. I bought a bunch of them, a bunch more. I've got several versions. I've got several copies of the shirt.
So I know you're not from the area, Daphne, but BrEaKfAsT was a convention that the guys who do the Grand Rapids Con tried to throw in June. It was the Grand Rapids Alternate Small Press Con, and he held it right during summer break from all of the colleges. Rented an incredibly large hall, and because the Grand Rapids show is usually in the fall in November. And it's huge. It's absolutely huge. First time that he had the show, it would have been incredibly COVID unfriendly. Anyway, everybody was like crowded. And literally they were shoulder to shoulder, literally.
Yeah, fire marshal bring people back.
Yeah, the fire marshal had to come in and restrict people coming in. Everybody had wristbands, and he would catch them as they go out the door, cut their wristbands, and come to the entrance door and say, "You can let this many people in."
Oh, I see.
Yeah. That's how bad it was. It was a great con though, and all the Grand Rapids shows were incredible. But
that's good.
This one was sparsely attended.
Oh well,
and we love Mark, and he puts on a great show. But he won't throw another show in June when all of the colleges are on break again.
Right.
There was a festival going on, if I'm not mistaken, really close to it. I think Mark said they may have heard attendance a bit for that particular show, but like a street festival where they had beer and food.
Oh well, yeah, kind of hard to compete with that.
But I
can't compete with beer. Yeah.
I had a great weekend that show. I'll tell you guys why off the air, but I had a great weekend.
It was a fun show. Mark always puts on a really good show. Like I said, all the Grand Rapids shows have been super fun.
I quite enjoyed myself.
Most of them. Yeah.
So I got my new issue of Game Informer.
Oh boy. Now we're going to swing from politics to gaming. What a great thing to do on a comic program.
Oh no! You have to understand this ties right back into comics.
Okay.
So ever so often they'll make sure they you cover the hottest game, and they employ artists now too, which is pretty cool if you're an artist and you get your work put on the cover of a magazine. And I said, oh no, I knew that it was going to be Spider-Man month because the new Miles Morales game is out. So here's the cover. Now it's not bad, but we're snobs here.
What's wrong with that?
There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, actually.
Why is he too soft-faced for you?
Well, there is a bit of what Daphne's labeled Tumblr-esque art.
Yeah, that webcomic aesthetic.
Yeah, but it's not bad.
No, in fact, I didn't think it was bad at all.
In fact, this is they'll post to the Marvel covers now.
His toes are pointed, and that one toe in the back is pointed, kind of funny. But
I think that might be a stylistic choice because
nobody's heel goes back like that.
Well,
but I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was kind of cool looking. And
what's he got in his hand? A controller? Oh, his mask.
Yeah.
Okay. Took a second.
Yeah, and they kind of the only issue I had was the webbing. Because he's not holding it, I have no idea what it is floating through the air. It does not look like webbing at a point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right.
Dude, that's not webbing. I thought that was snow.
No, that's.
Well, you see, that's actually, it's like that's the problem. We don't know what it looks like.
And I don't want to dox myself. I don't want to dox myself here, but.
Yeah, cover that up. Cover that up. Yeah.
That was some sort of fluid. Oh no, that's webbing there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, that's pretty bad. Then that's what you call lazy.
Like they can't decide whether they wanted to do like the Todd McFarlane webbing or just like, oh, screw it, that's too hard.
It didn't come out looking like, it didn't look like that at all.
Yeah.
Let me see if I.
Now Miles, he does the Tobey Maguire webbing, doesn't he? He doesn't have web shooters, does he? Does he have web shooters, or do they come out of his body?
I believe Miles has web shooters. I believe.
Okay.
I think well, if I'm going by the movie, I'm not. I don't follow the comics, so
that would
I would
be
only go by
especially
the
bad.
movie.
That would be especially bad if that come out of his wrist. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would yeah, I don't know if I mean I look at this and like, ooh, but I do like I did like it was a little soft face, like you said. That's the first thing I picked up. Like, ooh, he looks.
That's not bad though, because he's supposed to be a young kid.
So. Right? Yeah.
Listen, being a hero ages here. And have you guys? I don't know if you guys have seen this. And Randy
not as much as running a multimedia empire.
Yeah.
That I've aged in like I've aged quite quickly. I put on 5 years. The original game that they had, Spider-Man, they had used a voice actor, and they kind of matched. They used a voice actor and a person to model them on, and so two different people. But now, because of they say because of the way they're remaking the game now, and they've remastered the first game, so you can play that on PS5 now. They've changed the way Peter looks, and I'll show it here. You guys tell me what you think, because I think we had to do it for several reasons. Just because there's a lot of reasons we did this. Okay, so the one on the left is the original version of Peter Parker.
The left is the original. Okay.
The right is the new remastered version that's going to be used going forward, even in the Miles Morales game. This is the new Peter Parker going forward.
Okay. Okay.
So
that ought to save them a little time in their rendering.
No, now the one on the right.
On the left. Okay, so the one on the left is the original version.
Yes.
And the one on the right. Okay. I mean, you could tell the technology, improved, but it's okay.
Well, here's the thing. Now he looks at the same age as Miles.
Yeah.
In fact, Miles might look a little older than him. This Peter's supposed to be like 23, 24.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think I like the old Peter better.
Right.
But, I mean, I will admit, like, it does look more realistic. You can, there's more, nuance and a couple.
Right. Yeah. The shaping of the face is better, and like more distinct and less puffy, less smooth.
It's from the same scene, by the way. So this is the scene. This is the scene in the. I was
going to say the lighting doesn't look any different. It's just that it looks like they de-aged him about 10 years.
Yeah, and I joke about it. I say, that is probably. I say this is like going from Andrew Garfield to Tom Holland, and he does bear a resemblance to Tom Holland now.
I don't think he resembles Tom Holland at all.
You think so?
No.
Yeah, he's
No, if you were to show me that and go, which famous character is this? I would in no way think Peter Parker.
Really?
No, wouldn't even cross my mind.
Is it
right? If you didn't say anything, if you didn't say anything, I wouldn't know either.
Yeah. Really? That's interesting. Yeah. I'm gonna send it to. I'm gonna send this clip to the studio. Right. Guess what, guys? Neither one of them look like Peter.
It's to the credit of the Marvel MCU casting department that they are as good as they are.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
That they can pull people out that you go, well, of course.
Yeah, no. That was the.
Here's what Steve Rogers looks like. Yes, he does. Yes, that's exactly. Here's what T'Challa looks like. Yes, he does.
Whoever does the casting for Marvel, I mean, they're really good at what they do.
Yeah,
yeah.
They are more than good, and they really know the product.
Yeah,
which is very grateful and impressive. Well worth their money. And I don't know why. The MCU marketing has to be so different from the Disney movie marketing, because the Disney movies have had a rough time in their marketing department for the last 5 or 6, almost 10 years. And Marvel Marvel's got it down to a science. Boom.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how it's like the same company has like so many different disparate results from different
and Disney itself has kicked out so many killer movies. I mean, really good. Real Sorcerer's Apprentice was really good. And the marketing on it blew. Just terrible. Tomorrowland was really good and had I mean, sure, there you might have wanted to go through and re-edit some of it here and there, but overall it was a good solid movie that just at the box.
Right.
John Carter is another example.
Right. Yeah.
Really good, very solid product that should have made millions of more money, but the marketing department just had no idea.
Yeah, it's like they panicked, especially with John Carter. It's like they panicked at the last minute. And like it's like, oh, we don't know what to do with this.
They did a lot of really hard stumbles on that movie.
Yeah.
Pat says Miles has web shooters. I take Fair in the house. Good morning, Indie Vote, friend.
Hey,
Rebel.
Good morning.
Michael Oden says, good morning, good people. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
And Pat says, I always feel like Peter's always been kind of nondescript, like just a random kid with no real distinguishing features.
That's true. Yeah.
Exactly. The poor actor they use, the poor actor they used to model the face of that Peter. Here he is here. You know, now because he was just the facial model.
Which one's the rendering? It has to be the one on the left because the hair looks easier than the one on the right.
Yeah. This poor kid.
And who did the kid on the right's hair? That's the next question.
You know, it's that look.
I saw something about Sally the other day or whatever.
He was
Twink. He's got that alfalfa little sprout rolling in the back of his head.
Now he was just the facial model. He was not the voice actor. So they kept the same voice actor. Just they changed.
Is that because this kid hadn't hit puberty or he couldn't act? You're a pretty face, kid, but we ain't using your voice.
Yeah, no, that's what happens. Yeah. You know, and then it's like it's like, oh, your hand sucks, so we're getting a different person to model the hands.
We've got hand models for that. Yeah.
You know, I talked a little bit about my time modeling as a kid and how cruel it was.
Right. Yeah.
And there was a point where they called me in to do some pickup shots of this one of those sports tables that flips over and you can change things. And they called me in, and I won't say name, even though the company's no longer around, they called me in, but still. They called me in, they said, we want you to come in. Or they told my parents, we want you to bring him in and do these pickup shots. And my father was like, okay. So when he came in, he says, well, you'll be here about an hour and a half, no problem. They take these pictures, and my father is always inquisitive. He wants to know why. Well, like, why do you need him to do the pickup shots? Well, what's the problem? What's the problem with the other, kid? And the photographer leaned over to my father. He was a white guy. He says, well, the kid that we have doing the other shots, the main shots, is way too dark, and we can't light the scene correctly.
Oh no! And
it's like. So I was the stand-in for this kid on the smaller shots. Mm-hmm. So they brought back the same guy, the kid that he had shot with. They brought him back, and I knew him because we did other ads together. But they brought back this kid, and he wore the same thing. They found the shirt that other kid had been wearing and put me in it, and it was really weird. I felt like I was the recast. So when people joke about Terrence Howard and Don Cheadle, it hits me in the heart a little bit. I'm like, that was me once.
Well, that's like the pendulum swinging the other way from the case you told us about yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the exact opposite.
Yeah, where I
first one you weren't street enough, and now the other kid was too black.
Yeah, and it was like, I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this. And my dad said, just cash a check.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's like, you just gotta look, just get through it. And,
the other kid was being paid for his time already anyway.
Yeah,
and,
that's true.
It was really just a lighting problem that they wanted to correct on a melatonin level, I guess.
Well, and they used to do this thing, they used to do this arc lighting type of thing where, the lighting was really soft back then, and because I had ambitions of getting on the other side of the camera, and so I would always talk to the lighting guys, and they would tell me different things, and they would tell me how they lit scenes, and this arc lighting was really cool because it used coal or charcoal, one of them, to light. It gave the anything get lit like this nice warm glow. They don't use that anymore. They don't. They've moved on from that. But
they ran out of coal shoveling squirrels.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was yeah, so you mean it was when you think about them replacing people, it's like you don't get a check anymore. But the new kid's gonna get a check. The new kid's gonna get one. You're just the old Parker now. And maybe now the game that I have.
It's like, hey kid, there are plenty of people out there feel like Andrew Garfield, and now you're one of them.
There you go.
And think about it now you have a collector's item.
Not only that, but you're on deck when the multiverse movie kicks in, because they might actually call you for a bit part.
Oh, that's true, right? Yeah.
And, how many times as an artist, we all put our own spin on things anyway.
Yeah.
The way, like, if I jump in there and start drawing Daphne's characters, I'm gonna do something a little different. And
right? Yeah.
As the creator of those characters, Daphne's gonna hate it. Like, ill.
Right, but the thing is, of getting other people. I mean, it's like, but that's the thing. It's like that's the fun of getting other people to draw the same character. The fun of it is seeing different interpretations of it.
Yes.
Unless you're drawing Red Sonja, then it's sus.
When I've drawn Spank twice, and I drew him once for a little trophy we put him on, trophy design. Mm-hmm. And I sent it to Randy, and Randy immediately knew that was not his drawing. Even though I tried to draw it exactly like Randy, he immediately
it's the subtle details.
Hold on, I'm being bothered. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, in the meantime, we're going through the chat again. Let's see where we left off. Morning, John. Frank Ferret, the purpose of marketing is to invoke an emotional response strong enough to make the consumer want more. That's very true.
You would think, but instead it's like we got a marketing that made people like, oh, what is this?
Well, it's like, here's the John Carter movie. What
right? Yeah, exactly.
Like the marketing department had no clue what the heck they had.
Oh, and then like when it failed, they wanted to say that it's like, it's because it was based on Mars. It's like, Mars doesn't market well, and it's like, are you what? Yeah,
exactly. It's like.
Yeah.
Though I do, there were some discrepancies between the book and the actual movie that they probably had to do for cinematic reasons.
Well, of course, but that's always, you can't do. I mean, it's like, I don't think that there is really a way to do a direct translation of any book to any movie. There's always going to be changes needed.
Well, some of that stuff was never. When Burroughs was writing it, I'm sure he wasn't sitting here going, this is going to make a great movie.
Right, yeah.
We are now joined by Mr. Mark Darden.
Oh, good morning.
We haven't even introduced ourselves yet, Mark, but you can. Go ahead.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
I'm writer-creator Mark Darden, creator of The Guano Guy. I'm just stopping in, say hi, see what's going on.
We appreciate you stopping by, buddy. What's going on?
Most recent Guano Guy.
There you go.
Exciting. It's already in the hands of the people.
Where it should be.
Yes.
Oh, and I didn't put a white cover that just says it's going to show up on this day. Didn't bother to do that. We did actual art that's fun to look at.
Cool.
Makes you feel like you didn't get 10 of the same thing.
Oh. Yeah, really.
So not all ideas are good ideas.
Yeah. Mark, we're just going through the chat. Varian had stepped out for a second. So Frank Ferret says MCU ads are powerful and impactful. Disney animated ads are milquetoast.
Yeah, they they have no, like, you could tell that they have no faith in the product.
Yeah.
It's
like, here's this. What are we supposed to do with this Tomorrowland thing? Come on.
Right. Yeah. It's like, you're the marketing department.
I'm just here for a check. That's all.
That's all. What do you mean George Clooney can't sell a movie on his own?
For real, right?
Yeah. Tank says, have a great one, Mark. Okay, Mark.
Yeah.
Afternoon, everyone. Good morning.
Hello.
Russ, how you doing? Comic book black belt in the house.
Hey, good morning. We're all just waking up. We have to do a damage report. When we wake up, we turn on the news. Damage report.
Yeah. Oh, no, I don't even do that.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I don't watch the news.
I try to encourage people not to do that.
Yeah, no, for real. So do I.
You get bogged down in that minutia, and it'll drive you insane.
Well, my problem is I got I'm gonna say her name. She's gonna freak out, but I got Alexa right here. looking at me in the face with her screen.
Oh, wow.
And she's constantly feeding me information like, you're not going to believe this shit. She doesn't say that, but, she does. I try to make her just show me sports and comic stuff.
But I'm sure for an extra $9.99 a month, they can arrange it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, exactly.
Man, they don't tell me anything. Just let me know if someone famous passes. Let me know if there's something in the comics that happens. They put up there when Batman's gonna start fighting for the criminals. They put that up. They were like, Batman fights for the criminals.
That's a new revelation, I'm sure.
Yeah, to get them jobs and health care.
Right. Yes, because what we all want, because what we all want in our comics is absolute realism.
It's nice to know he's gotten up off of that couch after that turn down from Catwoman. What
Gotham calls the National Guard again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, we're gonna have Batman. He's gonna be inner city and really getting involved with the issues. Like,
Milk Toast Man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny because it's like this is something, because this is something I was thinking about with part of our conversation last night, where when you showed the redesign of Red Sonja, and like I said, that's not Red Sonja. They can say it's Red Sonja till they're red in the face, and it's like I go, no, it's not. But it's like this weird obsession with like how an absolute fantasy medium has to be like absolutely rooted in reality.
Yes.
And it's like, why?
And what's especially odd is that if you go back to see when comics were really making hard money, big money, back in the early 50s, there were comics at that point were actually splitting in half. The crime comics and the horror comics were running like gangbusters. I mean, they were selling millions. That's, one of the reasons the CCA come in and all the cries about children, juvenile delinquency and all that.
Right,
But on the other hand, Captain Marvel Adventures was selling millions, literally millions of copies, coming out twice a month.
Right.
And Fawcett was cleaning house on a character that was incredibly, just totally opposite from anything you would call realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, he was talking tigers and alligators and had a little worm as an evil genius and all of that stuff. There's room in comics, like I said last night in our conversation. There's room in comics for everything, and everything should be there.
Because it's like, because I know that, I've heard that, also it's like that they're trying to like soften up Conan too. And it's like, really, it's like, what's even the point of that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's Conan, it's Red Sonja, it's she's getting the boogers out of her eyes.
Sorry, Meredith, I didn't realize you weren't ready. So my apologies.
And it's like, it's kind of like the whole thing with like James Bond. It's like, oh, we have to change the character. And it's like, why? I mean, it's like, can't you do something else? Like not everything needs to be seeped in real. We already have realism. We have go outside your door. You have all the realism you want. It's like, I don't need Red Sonja to look like a crappy D&D character. I need Red Sonja to look like Red Sonja.
Yeah.
I need Conan to look like Conan.
well, and again, that goes back to our conversation yesterday. Some of this stuff's done intentionally because Conan is the ultimate symbol of misogyny, masculinity, the old routine about being a king and lamentation for the women and all on and on. Well, you can't have that. No, you can't have those.
It's like, but I want that. But what if I want that?
No, there's a desperate need for it all to be out there and for it all to be on the table.
Because oh no, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and I read Conan. I really don't see the misogyny thing. And I'm a guy, I really don't see it. I see that he's like the most powerful person around. But maybe, in the two of you, please, because you may have different feelings. What about is misogynistic?
Well, the thing is, it's like I do see it. Like, especially it really stood out for me in the Frost Giant story, where it's like he's chasing the bait girl.
He's being a typical macho man and chasing tail is what he's doing.
Yeah, but the thing is,
yes,
it was because it's like she was right. But you see, the thing is though, it's more like the internal monologue that Conan is having. That's kind of weird. But the thing is though, it's like yes, it's like that's. The dialogue was weird, in today's context. Maybe not. But the thing is, though, it's like I just like to figure that it's like, okay, I see what's happening, and it's like that's just what it is. It's like there's, I'm a grown adult. I know context. you know. So it's like, yeah, okay, the dialogue's weird, but you know what? It's like it's Conan. And it's
not just that, but it's Conan the Barbarian,
right? Yeah,
and that's the ideal barbarian, and you don't go through and change that,
not Conan the civilized,
right? Even though technically the word barbarian just means not a Roman citizen, but that's being pent.
Oh no,
and not fun.
Not in those books. He was a barbarian.
Yeah,
this was before the Roman Empire popped.
Yeah,
they got a. I'm sorry, I just seen an ad. There's a program that will help you now make make trailers for your comic.
Oh, really? What is it?
For your comics, for your movies. They also include ways to, it's I'll tell you guys what it is off air.
Okay.
They're not sponsoring me.
Well, that's true. Yeah. You're not sponsored.
It's Adobe Trailer Blast. Just put in the information and hit a magic button.
That might actually be helpful because making trailers for Kickstarters is kind of a drag.
But that's all that goes into the creativity, though.
Yeah.
Of how well your trailer is how well it ties into how well your product is.
I have these grand ideas for the trailer for my book. Grand ideas. I don't think they're going to work. But it's like, do I really want to do all that work? Meredith and I joke about this, but some of the stuff that I've built, it's usually somebody, Varian, did you build that? No, I had somebody build it for me. And because it's like, you're gonna leave me alone. I don't want to build it for you too. And
deniability.
Yeah. Like who did that for your site? That's awesome.
That was made by Grant Varied. He's some other guy. You can't get more out of him.
The Lord.
Yeah. He's very hard to get. Very hard to get. I'm lucky I was able to get that. But it's one of those things where when I think about making a trailer, I'm like, I have all these great ideas, and it's like, okay, well, you got to remember too, you're dealing with a non-motion medium, so you can only put like scenes up, like trailer scene or scenes from the comic. But then I'm so vain that I'm like, I know. I'm going to redraw some special scenes just for the trailer.
Wow.
And then
okay.
And I'll do that type of stuff, but I'm like, at what point does it become like, have I gone too far? Because think about it. Imagine you see a comic book trailer, you're looking at it, you're like, this trailer is awesome. Yeah. And then you get the book and none of those scenes are in it.
Oh, well,
just like
a movie.
Just like movies. Yeah.
Yeah. And then everybody's hitting me with
Griff King.
Yeah, everybody's hitting with the Griff King logo. I thought I probably would deserve it at that point.
Yeah.
But it's nice to learn, though. I mean, now so now you know how to do an elaborate comic book trailer.
Conan is bad, but I felt like the trailer to Rogue One led me to think it was going to be way, way awesomer than it was. It wasn't bad, but I really thought it was going to be more intense.
I would really like to see that original director's cut because they said that the director said that he had to change it because the executives got spooked as to how dark it was.
Which is what we wanted.
Right. I mean,
you're dealing with war.
Yeah. I mean, now mind you, it's like I super enjoyed Rogue One in spite of Mr. Zim might say. But
I got done watching Rogue One and turned to my son-in-law and said, "That's 2 hours. I'm never going to get back."
Well,
never.
Then stop
never
watching
get it back.
because you'll only keep losing 2 hours.
Yeah.
You did get to watch it with your son, though.
My son-in-law. Yeah,
going to get back.
Yeah.
It's
like that. That's the dumbest, most illogical piece of Star Wars I've ever seen in my life.
Listen, I was okay to the end. And I was like, oh. And then they kind of won me back with the with the Leia scene.
Oh yeah.
I was like, okay, all right.
I mean,
you haven't watched the cartoon, though. You haven't watched the cartoon, though.
No.
So when Saw sits there and goes, "Yeah, I'm just going to let this thing kill me," you're sitting there going, "What?" That's not Saw. That's not Saw Gerrera. No way. Oh, I'm tired. I'm just gonna let this wave come and kill me.
Yeah, I really thought that guy should have had some more significance in the film.
You guys run off. Yeah.
Yeah, because especially in the original trailers, he was supposed to be a lot younger from what it looked like. So I'm kind of wondering if the whole Schneider, depending on how the whole Schneider cut does on HBO, whether it's going to bring in like a new wave of director cuts.
Well, again. I guarantee you, Lucas is sitting there watching to see what the Snyder cut does, because
I'm sure.
There's been a lot of talk about how Lucas wants to get a hold of 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah,
and end up putting his personal touches to it. You want to see a change in canon?
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
I want to get a hold of 7, 8, 9, but they won't let me.
I think everybody does.
No, it was a shame. It was a shame.
I actually want to get a hold of Solo, because that actually threw me out of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, no, it really did. It really did. Yeah,
I think I was just like, so easy though. You just go in with soundbite and remove the name Solo. If you just do that,
yes.
That alone would make it a way better. It's just
not Solo.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we were talking about, like companies making characters softer, and it's like, and I think I told JD, it's like, that Solo is Disney princessifying Han Solo.
Well,
it's like taking away like all his gray and nuance. We want to make sure it's understood he's a good guy, and it's like
no. Solo shot first, dude.
Yeah, exactly. He murderized Greedo.
I felt the same way about the prequels. If you remove the name Star Wars off of those prequels, those are 3 incredible movies.
Well,
if you don't have the 4, 5, and 6 to compare it to, they were great films.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem that they should have done. First of all, they need to just hire a body double, and they could have paid Harrison Ford for his face. Did the little face swapping. There's no need to get a big actor. All they needed was a body. That's all they needed. And also, here's the other problem. If I understand I have another word for it, because they did it to Wolverine too. But when they pussified Wolverine,
it's like you're looking to the side.
We all know what you meant. We are TVMADLSV. So
when they wussified Wolverine, or when they wussified Solo, here's the problem. That was a prequel. That means something happened to him in between the time that movie ends and when we meet him and a new hope
that just turned him horrible bitter.
Yeah, something happened to him. He probably got a hold of some Marvel comics.
Could have been. What is this shit?
The love of his life really cheated him at the end. If he finds out about that, and then it happens 3, 4, maybe 5 more times.
I mean, it was no. Although not for nothing though, if it wasn't for Kathleen Kennedy kicking off the original directors of Solo, we wouldn't have gotten into the Spider-Verse. So
not only that, but Solo would have been really close to a comedy.
Right, exactly, which is what they had wanted to do.
Yeah, a real scattered. What do you mean this film's not supposed to be funny? We're comedians.
Yeah, you hired
Why did you hire us?
Yeah, it's like we did the Lego movie. What were you expecting?
And then let us go. Let us film 85% of this film. And now you tell me it's supposed to be serious?
It was very,
What?
it was just the whole thing. But like I said, it's like the trade-off is that we got Miles Morales, the Into the Spider-Verse. So it's like, okay.
John Celestri says Star Wars consists of a trilogy of episodes, 4, 5, and
yes.
7?
5,
4, 5, and 7.
4, 5, and 6.
4, 5, and 6.
Oh, it's those Roman numerals.
Yeah, crazy Roman numerals.
You didn't want us to make a Lego movie, but with real people,
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Figured that's why you got me. That's what I did well.
Yeah. It's like it's like I think some directors are able to step. Because I'll be honest with you guys, when I found out the Russo brothers were directing Captain America, I was like, say what now? The Russo brothers, the Arrested Development guys, that doesn't track. Have you seen Arrested Development? I know Chris Evans has comedic chops. What are we gonna get here? And then I saw that movie, and I'm like, those bastards.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like when they tapped Peter Jackson to do Lord of the Rings, and everyone was like, the horror guy. It's like,
oh no,
Meet the
I was
Feebles
exactly
guy?
the opposite. It's like the guy that did Dead Alive is doing Lord of the Rings. This is going to be awesome.
Because I was hearing them Meet the Feebles.
Oh, okay.
Every time I hear George Miller, I'm wondering which George Miller is going to show up.
Yeah.
The Happy George Miller or Mad Max George Miller.
Yeah. There are 3 or 4 different directors named George Miller. If it's all the same guy, that's really schizophrenic.
Yeah.
Before the movie is released, I don't mind, who's directing it and stuff. It's afterwards that we can judge, because that whole creative process is like, okay, if they want to stretch their wings and do something that's like completely different from what they've been doing, or is there an expectation of they're going to continue on with what they've been doing, and that's why they were hired, to what Mark was saying earlier, So I'll give everybody a benefit of a doubt when they're announcing it. Yeah. But when it comes to the final cut, it better be a damn good
absolutely.
movie, and stay true to the characters. And that is why I've been so pissed with Star Wars after all the prequels and everything after 6.
I'm sorry, I can't give every director the benefit of the doubt because I watched A Wrinkle in Time.
Oh well, yeah.
I did.
Yeah,
I watched that
awful,
baby.
Man.
I watched that film.
Yeah.
Well,
and I love that book.
Love that book. Would you be concerned if they said, okay, listen, Kathleen Kennedy's off Star Wars.
Okay.
We got a new Star Wars coming out. We're calling this one Star Trek and the Star Wars Legacy. Okay, it's going to be a culmination, and we've got some great writers on it. We've got.
What do you think Mandalorian is?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's what's happening on the TV shows.
We've got Jon Favreau producing. We've got Filoni producing. We got a new director we'll be announcing tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes, and they say our director for the film. We're happy to announce Michael Bay has stepped on to direct. Would you? That's a time where you don't care about the director. You say Michael who? Then Michael.
I would think it's a strange choice, but at the same time, it's like, well, does he understand what Star Wars is? Then I guess we're good.
There are a lot of other directors out there that I would hate to see before Michael Bay did a Star Wars movie. True. Because Michael Bay is in Flash and specializes in the spectacle and Flash and the constant movement of the plot from point to point to point, and that is a lot of the Star Wars formula, the constant rough and tumble, the serial feel of where you're moving from cliffhanger to cliffhanger.
Right. I would like to see it,
and Bay can do that
because why I want to see it. For no other reason, and Vader's gonna stand up, and the camera's gonna go around him, and it's gonna be badass.
Oh yeah, no, definitely,
yeah. But Bay is good at that. So
what's funny because it's
going by.
What do you think, Mark? I'm sorry.
There are gonna be space dubs going by him.
Yeah.
lots of lens flare too.
With
lots of explosions.
Because when I watch a lot of sports. And sometimes a coach isn't good at everything,
right?
And have him go get that coach who does that. He's got a coach that teaches this part, and he relies on that person. I kind of don't understand why directors don't do the same thing. Like, if you're amazing at big scenes where things explode and visually it's incredible, but actual characters aren't your thing. Why don't you have someone for that? Why not have someone who actually develops more fine-tuning story points or character development for you?
Right.
Like, Zack Snyder, I feel, is another director where he needs like a team. Like, get him a couple people that fill in the parts he doesn't do well.
Well, I really would love to see Ron Howard direct a Star Wars movie instead of pick up a mess and try to turn it into from somebody else 85% done, and then try to scattershot and try to make it all make sense.
Because so far it's looking like his daughter is doing better Star Wars content than he is.
Yeah.
Well, I would assume that his daughter has picked up a lot of that direction from watching him work.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
All of this time, so that's probably as close to it. Like I said, I would love to see Ron Howard actually, from start to finish, do a Star Wars movie, because I bet it'll be really good.
You know who would also be good? And I guess probably going to moan at this, but Clint Eastwood.
That would be an interesting choice.
That would. I mean, especially the angle the Mandalorian is taking.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dismiss it.
I found out.
I think he does excellent with character development and stuff like that, which is something that Solo was sorely.
No, it was. Yeah, Solo was a hit piece.
Solo. Wouldn't he have understood that character?
Probably.
I kind of want to see like a gritty like Scorsese version of Solo.
Did you know Clint does not say action on his sets?
I heard that.
He does not say action or cut because he started doing the Westerns, and they don't yell action or cut because it scares the horses.
Oh, that's funny.
So they said that Clint will just walk up behind you and say, "Okay, go ahead." And when instead of cut, he just looks at you and says, "Okay, that's enough of that."
Right, enough of that. But then, I guess, sure. The one thing that I was like disappointed to find out is not happening is a Quentin Tarantino Star Trek movie.
Yeah,
and again, you wouldn't assume that would work. Yeah.
I mean, I was really curious as to how that was going to work. But the thing is, though, also, it's like, it sounds weird, but also the thing is, though, too, is that Quentin has proven himself to be, like, he really understands these genres. Yes. So that's why I was, like, really curious as to how that would have worked.
You can throw out Quentin Tarantino and whatever.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I'm
definitely.
How this plays out.
Yeah. Definitely.
Quentin is the type of. I know you guys might groan again.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I didn't groan with your first one. That was good.
Quentin is okay. I like Quentin, but I think Quentin has competition, and people don't believe me. Quentin has competition in Kevin Smith.
No.
Because they don't.
No. Okay. I'll give you a groan. I'll give you a groan there.
No, neither one of them moves the camera. Neither one of them. They will put the camera on an actor and let it sit there until you're like, my attention span has kicked in and said, move the camera. Move. I can't take it. I can't. And I can because I watch both of their films, but Kevin doesn't move the camera, neither does Quentin. And that's why I was concerned about a Quentin Tarantino Star Trek, because I knew, one, the camera's going to sit on somebody. It's going to sit on a girl. She's going to be barefoot, by the way. That's how Quentin does it.
Oh, well, and, you're going to see at least one pair of bare feet.
Yeah. And he's going to also make sure that there's going to be a lot of violence. Somebody's going to get called the N-word, where
in space.
In space. Like, really? The Klingons are like that?
I don't know. You see, that's the thing. It's like, I don't know, like, how much
from that. That is that would be out of place.
I don't know if Quentin would have not
everybody on the deck all turn their heads all at once, see a bunch of quick cuts.
Yeah.
Like, what did you just say?
If they had some alien race that everyone talked smack about, and then you had the one character's like, really?
Yeah.
Still doing this?
Uh-huh.
It's I've always wondered, like, because I know
Spock sitting there raising an eyebrow going, fascinating, and then have to give an entire explanation as to what the term meant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That got dropped off at the mid 21st century.
Yeah,
dropped off of the vocabulary.
Yes, we no longer use
somewhere around probably around the 23rd at the rate we're going. But
that verbiage, really. that verbiage.
Star Trek was supposed to be hope of a better.
The ideal.
That's one of the things that got lost. And
I miss that. You know, I actually miss that. It's like I'm really tired of the whole dystopian, you know, life sucks, you know, at the end type of vision that everyone's
sci-fis. Yeah. Don't bring it to Star Trek. We like it. Everybody was working together and getting along.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, everybody wasn't working together.
First of all, I mean, everyone was working together, especially Kirk. Kirk should have, because apparently they had a cure for every space STD you can get.
But he had a rare condition. He had a rare condition, remember, because he had to take on reading glasses. So there might have been certain levels of STDs he couldn't handle.
First off, he was just bringing the universe a little closer together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
that too.
On the mission.
Yeah.
So Kirk does it. Everyone
explore new life and civilization.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so Kirk does it. Everyone looks up to him, right? Everyone's like, "Oh my God, Kirk is so awesome." Ego does it in Guardians of the Galaxy too, and it's a bad thing. I don't get it.
Well, because he murders he murders everybody afterwards, and that's kind of a problem.
As former military, if I was hanging at base and something really bad was going on, and they told me that the 3 highest people were going to go deal with it, and I didn't have to get up, you're not seeing a lot of complaints.
Right.
I'm like, no, let me go down to the planet where it's dangerous, and I'll be the least important person that you guys will throw into every bad situation.
Yeah, exactly.
If I make it.
Yeah.
No, thanks. I'll chill here. I'm good.
Yeah. Here's your red shirt. What?
Yeah.
Wait, when you 3 guys leave the ship, I'm suddenly promoted, and if you don't come back, I keep that promotion? Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Be careful out there.
Yeah.
Don't come back.
My mother is on a Jeffrey Hunter kick. And for a while, she was like, "Oh, you know, Jeffrey Hunter was Jesus." And she was looking at the Westerns, and I'm like, you know, Jeffrey Hunter was also, I had to knock it down a few pegs. I'm like, you know, he was also the first captain on Star Trek. And he couldn't cut the mustard. They had to get rid of him. She's like, "That's not true." And I showed her 2 episodes. Now she wants more. Like, I want to see more. And I'm like, no, you can't see more. Next time you see Pike.
All you get.
And next time you see Pike, is he in the remakes?
I think so.
Because Hemsworth plays Kirk's dad, but is Pike in the remakes at all?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He's in the Abrams movies, and he's in Discovery by the guy who played Black Bolt in the Inhumans.
Yeah.
Who's a really good actor. He was actually the lead in Hell on Wheels. Anson Mount. Yes. Yeah. He's really a good actor.
Sounds like something from World of Warcraft. Get on your Anson Mount. Like, okay. That's what they call them mounts. And but he is well, let's see, besides playing Backbone, he played he played another role too.
Yeah, he was in Hell on Wheels.
Yeah.
For years.
Did you know there was a Hell on Wheels, a Deadwood movie? Deadwood? There was a movie.
There was a movie. Yeah.
Did they make that? Did they bring that movie out yet?
Yeah, it's on HBO Max.
Okay, yeah.
Now, does that tie it all up? Is that it?
No, you're not really going to be able to tie it all up, but they'll probably give their characters some sort of satisfying ending.
Because it's like what? Because I think like the main actor passed before the movie came out or something. Wasn't there something about that? I might be thinking of something.
I know they had a rough time getting it done. They kept spinning their wheels on a lot of that stuff. But that I wish that they had kept that series going, because Deadwood's got an incredible history. Like a season or 2 into that show, they only filmed 3 seasons, but if they'd have done 4 or 5, the entire town blows up. Because they store all of the if they follow history, because they stored all the gunpowder in the back of the general store. There was kind of a small accident, and at the time all of the buildings were made out of wood. So it's like a 3 Little Pigs situation. Boom, all of the buildings get blown out, and so they come back and start building them up with blocks. And I think they all are burned down, or something else happens again. Boy, they end up rebuilding the town 2 or 3 times because they're stuck in a gulch. So when it blows,
yeah, it's like the X Mansion. Speaking of that,
fascinating history.
A gentleman on sent in a question for Indie Vote. He actually, it kind of ties in with what we just got talking about, which is weird. He says he signed up for AAA recently, and they're insuring everything. But he recently asked for his comic book collection to be insured. The person told him that it would actually end up costing him $475 extra a month to insure his collection.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
$475 extra a month to insure his collection. And he wants to know if he wants to know if we know anybody who just specializes in collectible insurance. I'm pretty sure there is out there. I don't know anybody offhand.
I'm pretty sure that there is for that. I mean, because I was about to suggest that. It's like I didn't even know AAA would even try.
Yeah.
I think you're better off going to a specialty insurance.
$475 extra a month.
They're trying to pass that.
Does he have a lot of valuable books? I mean,
he has to. They're trying to pass off that responsibility. Is what AAA is
trying.
Yeah, we don't want to insure that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Sure,
Exactly.
Action Comics #1 in there. Sure.
Yeah.
Oh no, that would be a lot higher.
$100 a month.
Yeah. You're gonna have to give us $2,000 a month, sir. And we'll insure you.
I think you'd be talking
he would have
to Sotheby's or whatever in order to keep that insured. That's something that you put in a museum case somewhere.
Yeah.
They just want to come and take it, and we'll feel like if I came across Action Comics #1, I wouldn't tell anybody. Sotheby's can come. We're gonna put it in the case.
Musician Sebastian Bach, I think, that he has a specialty made safe for his comic book collection.
Yeah.
That he has like all like these really, really important key issues that he keeps in this like fireproof safe, custom safe. You know, because he says that way if his house burns down, he can rebuild everything from what's in that safe.
Just sell 3 books and rebuild. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What you need to do, person, I think you can get a homeowner's Joel.
Yeah.
I think you can get a homeowner's type insurance that'll cover you to a certain dollar amount, and then you have to eat the rest.
Yeah.
You're going to take but you're going to take a loss if something happens to that collection.
We'd hate
you're probably, from the sound of it, you're probably already going to take a loss if something happens to that collection.
Probably got, he's probably got Guano Guy 1 through 8 in there. And, once you lose
very
those.
Important.
They're signed especially.
Some things there's just not, you just can't
replace. No, for real.
Have you ever had that someone reach out to you guys and say, hey, there was an accident, or the version of the books that I had from you were destroyed or lost, can I buy more?
Yes, I've had that. I've had several people, like, their houses burnt down. And they sought us out at conventions to replace the books. And I mean, and I found that, amazing, because like, wow, it's like you lost everything and you thought and you felt in the midst of all this that our books were that important to you that you came to search us out to replace them. And it was just like it was
teary-eyed.
Practically, because it's like, wow, it's like our stuff is that important to you. I mean, granted, I do not want anyone's house to burn down, but it's like, but it was just like, wow, it's like you went out of your way to look for us to replace those books.
You found out there's a backdraft like conspiracy in the comic industry. They want my books, follow them home, burn it down, come back tomorrow. Mark, has that happened to you? Oh, sorry, Randy.
I can only imagine that he'd have to have an extensive collection for $400 and something a month.
Yeah, I would think so too. Yeah.
And Mark, did you have anybody come back to you after losing issues?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But I suppose if I go long enough, which I plan to, that definitely could happen.
Pretty much, yeah.
Randy, anybody come to you?
Not that I remember. That doesn't mean it hasn't happened. It just means I don't remember.
I had someone come to me. They had an issue, and their friend really liked it and borrowed it and never gave it back. They said, "Oh man, I really like it. Can I keep it?" And they the next year they bought the same issue over.
My friend stole it. Oh, that's pretty good too.
Yeah, I like that. I like when your friend steals from you. I like that. Yeah, I'd rather your friend steal from you, steal the book, than you lose it in a fire or or your wife takes it in a divorce. That's great too.
Oh well,
I'm writing that one down. My next comic, on the cover, it's gonna say, "If you're a friend, please steal this."
Yeah.
Steal this book right there. If every friend will steal their friend's copy, that friend's got to buy another one.
Exactly.
I've only seen one instance in the last few months where somebody lost everything to flood. And so it wasn't necessarily that person reaching out to individual comic book creators, but as a community coming together and say, hey, I've got a friend who lost everything, let's put together a care package.
Yeah.
That's always nice. I get whenever I get sick, I get and people come together, they send me their books, and I get a chance to read through them and call them and tell them, your book made me feel worse. I looked at your book, you made me feel worse. Who did this art? Who did this art? Who did this inking? It's horrible. No, but I have, when I've seen stuff like that, Meredith, people have reached out, or someone else will organize something and ask people to donate to it, and I'm happy to do that. Put in my couple of depressing books. I don't have pastel depression comics. I have very well colored, brightly colored depression comics. I look at Catharsis, and I'm like, the book is called Catharsis. First of all, you knew what you were getting, but it's a depression comic. So now I'm not gonna say anything after realizing what I created. That's a depression book.
Oh well, there's room for everybody.
The first book I'm working on is called The Dying. Okay. I don't want to hear about your depression book. I'm killing everybody.
Yeah, she's there. Yeah. I remember one of the lines I wrote in there, and me and Stephanie Menard traded books at a convention. I got the first issue of Psychopath. She got my book Catharsis.
Oh boy. And fun times were had by all.
There's a scene in Psychopath where the young man is he's assaulted by a female nurse, who's very old and haggard. And I'm like, oh my God, this woman is dark. Stephanie's dark. But what in my book, my character's dad kills his mom while he's playing video games. And he ends up going, I said, this is a part of my life. When I was writing it, the character has the voice of Ryan Reynolds in my head.
Oh no.
And he says, this is the part of my life I have to call your hand on my shoulder, because he goes from the cop having his hand on his shoulder to the social worker having his hand on the shoulder to someone else, like they're all like pushing through the system. And he says, so I end up going to this rich guy, right? Whose name is, I forget the guy's name, but his last name was Wayne.
Oh, I was about to joke.
He lives in a mansion. He's adopted me. I know what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be a ward. And I was. I was. Dick was in the Batcave every night. And you know what that means.
He ended up in the Brat Pack mansion.
Oh boy. Yeah, I know, right?
And Stephanie's looking at me the next day like this, like, you're so dark. Because the scene is kidding. It's pretty dark. But I did think that it was when I did that, I'm like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. I can't believe I wrote that issue and wrote that book.
Russ.
See, I noticed
for a radio audience, we just were joined by Russ Leach.
I noticed little small things. Russ is shaved.
Well, because he was fine. He finally finished his Indiegogo, and he was able to leave the desk.
Yeah, got away from that board.
That or the razor slipped somehow.
I kind of go a bit caveman sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey,
there's the princess.
Hope you're doing good.
Special appearance. See how puffy your cheeks are? It's awesome. It's I love it.
So in the end, was
see the back of your head just got slapped.
I'm so abused. Stitch says, last fire I got into, the comics were stored in a shifting climate while being decontaminated for smoke. Horrible.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was the last fire he got into. Stench, what are you doing?
Yeah, really.
That's what I was wondering. Like, how many fires? And
holy crap! You must lead an adventurous life, buddy.
It's like, well, Russ, anybody ever reach out to you because their books were stolen? Their books that you created were like gone, lost for whatever reason? And they want a replacement?
No.
Oh.
There you go. That's a short answer.
There you go. Yeah.
No, I've never been in that situation. No. It would be nice to. I wouldn't want to wish a fire on anyone, but
no, definitely, yeah.
Always happy to do second sales.
Sales? You can't sell it.
Nope.
You gotta. Yeah, I guess you could.
John Celestri's busy packing perks for shipment.
Oh yeah, I got my notification. Yeah, that new books are coming.
Just like Mark. Mark's busy packing books for shipment, aren't you?
Oh, done.
No? Done?
Yeah.
Yeah, done.
Where's
I
my
had
book?
3 days off, and I spent 2 of them packing.
You can start singing the "Where's my book?
Where's my book?
Where's my book?" This was a promo copy of my book Catharsis, and I'm saying it's only a promo copy because when they printed it, it had this white border around it,
Right.
and I'm like, this can't stand. But so there's the jokes in here, but hold on.
See, he hasn't read that book in years.
Yeah, I'm trying
to acclimate himself back to the material.
I'm trying not to get kicked off of Facebook too.
You just folded that spine too, buddy. You just knocked that book out of mint.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the hand on my shoulder part. Keep in mind, I drew this book in a month.
Well, I mean, it's why I mean, it's like, look, that's a lot faster than I would have.
Yeah. Every night, twice on Wednesday. It's a very dark book. Very dark book. His girlfriend's also a adult film star, and she would make. They don't have premiere. She would make him watch her scenes.
What
a deep dark story you have there.
Yeah. He snaps. His therapist starts using him as a hitman.
You need to be more realistic, like Guano Guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I could do that. I could do that. I remember someone thought Guano Guy was made out of actual guano.
Ew.
No.
Yeah. They're like, isn't he made out of guano? And I'm like, no.
I mean, it's a very potent fertilizer, but
Now the Guano Guy does contain the second installment of Zombie Life, in which the zombies are complaining about not having died in Egypt, where they've been treated much better.
We were kings.
Yeah.
We'd wake up, at least there was food, damn it.
Yeah, we woke up to this. Come on, we would have had servants.
Yeah.
We would have had riches.
Yeah, servants they could eat too. That'd been awesome. Well, unless the servants were dead too, then yeah. Tank Fair says
different media being able to communicate the same ideas in various ways that convey uniquely is why I believe that comics are indispensable.
Yeah.
I want to get Russ's opinion on
Definitely
this.
be unique.
As a fine artist.
Oh, okay, this cover, right.
What do you think about that? What do you think about that, Russ?
Yeah, that's kind of how we felt about it.
I just assumed it was a parade celebration.
I don't know if are you asking me is it well drawn?
Well, I mean,
because it's not terrible.
No,
right.
There's nothing wrong with it. But it doesn't inspire me to want to open the comic book.
The webbing's a little
serviceable. Weird. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's serviceable art.
Yeah,
it's a magazine cover. It's not for a comic. It's a magazine cover. So.
It's a magazine cover.
Yeah.
I'm yawning.
Yeah.
I want something more explosive than that.
He's not touching the web either. I was noticing that. Like the web is not in his hand or anything.
I just figured it was a parade
in movement.
That was confetti and ribbons.
Oh right. Let's have a closer look again.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I'm trying not to dox myself because I know how they are.
I think you can get away with a cover because that's what they want to sell with the book.
Anyway. It's just covering his address though.
It's covering
yeah.
That's I'm very ambivalent to it too.
Yeah, I would say it's drawn adequately, but it's not filling me with any kind of inspiration to open the book.
Yeah,
whatever book it is, magazine, comic. It's just
there's a nice little kitty cat.
Oh look, there's real Spider-Man on the back.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Miles is one of the guys where they did another version, but it has grown to become.
Oh no! I've not read any Miles Morales, but I've been told that it is actually quite good. And I've seen the multiverse film, the Spider-Verse,
Yes.
and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
And they did the whole, they did the whole diversity thing extremely well. Okay, in that it didn't make any difference.
Right.
It wasn't about their diversity. There was a diverse group without them thrusting it into your face.
Yeah.
So you could, as all normal people do.
Yeah,
you didn't
exactly.
think about it. Okay, you just got on with it. So actually, I enjoyed it. I thought they played the Morales character very well.
Yeah.
It really worked for me. But it was definitely a what if. It wasn't. It didn't feel like main canon. But then I've said this before. None of the MCU movies are main canon either.
Yeah.
They're not the 616 universe. They're like the Nolan version of Batman. They're a film version of those comics. That's what they are.
And
so
even the 616 universe. Yeah. Sorry to step on you there, Russ.
That's okay.
Even the 616 universe isn't the 616 universe anymore.
No, I know, but I'm just kind of using that as a base format. But the point being is that canon is for the comics.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not for the movie. It's not for movies. It's not for other media. It's for the comics. It's because canon mattered because comics used to be episodic and they used to be pulp. And that was the whole point of comics. Mm-hmm. Okay, now they're not the same. Well, at least the mainstream media, mainstream comic book publishers, it's not the same thing anymore. And that's why they don't think canon counts. But canon does count if you're invested in the characters.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just simple, really. If you want to lose the attachment that anybody has up till now with a character, put the canon in the bin. But that's not a particularly clever marketing scheme either. You know, it's not a clever way to keep your audience.
Yeah.
Just an opinion.
On one,
you're dead on. I agree with you 100%.
On one hand, because like on one hand, I think that there's almost like a little too much obsession with canon, but then we were talking about Star Wars before, where it's like we're all kind of tight because they messed with the canon.
You see, I'm on the other end of that. Yeah. I'm very shallow. I've said this before. I kind of look at the pictures before I read anything, if I read anything at all. But I like films that are kind of all sort of, big flashes and bangs and stuff. I love all that stuff. Yeah, sure. And I can appreciate a really crap film, even though it's crap. Okay.
Varian has a Michael Bay Star Wars to sell you.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm up for it. That said, though, and like I say, I'm not like big into canon. I'll be honest. I actually like the prequels. I thought they were okay. It didn't bother me. I wasn't that invested. I was there just like Randy. I was there in the cinema when I was a kid. Okay, watching this for the first time, and I remember the films, and like they weren't that great acted. Okay, they weren't brilliant. They were just something different. They weren't. There was nothing else like them, and they touched a nerve, and that's why they were brilliant. And they were the hero's journey. They were grim fairy tales in space. They were great fun, and so I didn't mind. I thought it got a bit too serious, but I didn't mind the prequels. And I kind of went and saw the seventh one, and thought, all right, it's exactly the same as A New Hope, but okay, we're kind of coming back. And then I went and saw the one in the middle.
Yeah.
I can't remember the titles of these
Last
things.
Jedi. Yeah.
I went to that one and like they completely broke canon by flying that spaceship through it doesn't matter, all the rest of the crap that was in it. And there was a lot of crap in it. It's really bad storytelling and some bad character development or lack of. Okay. Yeah. But then they flew that spaceship through all the bad guys. And it's like, well, why didn't they just do that in A New Hope? That's it. All the canon's gone. It just, even for someone like me who is not a canon hungry person, okay, that was just like, well, that's spoiled. And I didn't even bother to go and see the last one. I just thought, what's the point?
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
There's nothing matters anymore. Nothing matters. And I think that's the problem with some of the mainstream comics. It's like nothing matters anymore. Let's just make someone like this. And it's like, no, That's not what the character would do.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you're throwing canon in the bin, that's all very well, but you're going to lose a lot of people on the way, even people that you might have picked up in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
If you just say nothing matters, then you're going to lose them as well, because they're starting to get invested.
Literally money you're turning down on purpose.
Yeah.
Wolverine doesn't smoke anymore. He drinks out of nondescript cans.
We see that. I saw this safe that comes right from the top, doesn't it? Nanny state crap.
Depending upon your slang, though, he's back smoking again.
You can't drink anything with sugar in it. You can't drink anything with caffeine in it.
I was gonna mute Randy, but
I'm Wolverine. I'm smoking this cigarette just because I can.
Yes.
I don't care. Look.
Yeah. It's kind of like when we were talking about Conan before. It's like, what's the point on changing the character? I mean,
Stint says, "Don't worry, I hung up my stint as a I mean firefighter." After that one, yes.
I saw those true crime episodes.
Yeah.
Travis says, "Look at all these people all awake."
I know, right? Ridiculous. We should all be in bed.
I would like them to change Conan because his success with women makes me feel bad about myself.
Oh boy.
Yeah. He's an Avenger now. Remember, he's an Avenger.
Sorry. No, he is
exactly.
Don't say that again.
We're all like Russ sitting here going la 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 la.
Yeah, I know, right? Really, it's like
that's the kind of nothing matters rubbish that
didn't make me.
I tell you what upset me. When he became an Avenger, I was like, okay, all right, he's an Avenger now. I got my inhaler, but the problem for me was, I got my inhaler and I got the industrial inhaler too. You haven't seen this one yet. This is the one you click and just breathe in.
Like pure menthol.
Yeah, but I got my medication. But the problem is, when Venom bonded to his sword, and I'm like, close the book, look over my shoulder.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm done.
I've had moments like that.
Yeah. It's like, why is his sword Venom? And they thought somebody thought they were being cool. Like, I'm gonna the symbiote. It's gonna be awesome. Jody McPhee says that cover is very serviceable since it's not telling the story.
But it's also not saying much of anything either. That's the thing. It's not really saying anything either. I mean, I don't know. It's just there.
I don't think it has to say. It's not so much saying anything. It's just it is not enticing.
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah. There's so much of the art at the moment seems to be very bland.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not for the want of artistry. It's not for the want of skill or ability. It just seems very bland. I don't know. I grew up in a different time. I don't know.
I think we all did.
I don't want to see stuff that looks like it's straight out of a pamphlet. I want to be excited, even if it's not quite right. Even if some of the artistry isn't quite there. Excite me. That wasn't exciting.
Since we weren't going to ask, but we hope you feel better soon. Since before you ask, I'm still playing the greatest shits on the can.
Yeah, it's like, dude.
And snowed in.
Dude.
He told us, was it Tuesday?
That's the health report.
Yeah, he has dysentery.
Dysentery.
From bad hamburger meat.
How do you get... It's the 21st century, my man. How do you get dysentery in the 21st century?
Well, he's in Norway, right? So I mean, the
train trip.
I'm gonna say that it's big compliments if we are worthy of going to the bathroom with you. I'll say that because as I have raised my boys, and the bathroom was the saving grace, and that is where I got my peace and quiet most of the time. All right. So that is big compliments. Thank you.
Like, leave me alone. Mom's got food poisoning.
I really hope you don't need the toilet because we only have one.
Stint says soon Solomon Kane will be fighting Ghost Rider. Yeah.
If they haven't already drawn that yet. Yeah, I'm sure it's
funny.
coming.
This is like kind of like the opposite of what I had mentioned at the beginning about like this need for everything in comics to be realistic. And it's like, whatever happened to just being fanciful, but then like all this is like the opposite of being fanciful. It's like they're just like putting just smashing rocks together just to see what would happen. And
you don't even
it feels like being thrown at the wall and seeing what's
you don't even want to know what Marvel has done to Weird World. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they did.
Has it gotten weird?
This is why I collect particular Funko Pops and I just create my own super teams and just leave it at that. You know, it's like...
Sits there off camera. Here comes Captain America.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Black Widow's gonna kick his ass.
I do want to pick on you guys about one more thing. I know we talked about the new Peter Parker face, and he's the only face in the game that's changing.
We're back to games again.
Well, it's art because they actually drew the picture instead of using the CG render. But so Mary Jane's face doesn't change. Okay. But this is here we go. So
what?
It's kind of like seeing your girlfriend with a new guy.
Is it now? Now it really looks like it's like, why did they age him down so much?
Oh, because he's a kid in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
But the thing is, though, in the context of what we were talking about before, he's supposed to be in the same universe as Miles Morales, which means that he's technically supposed to be older.
Yeah.
And then they redid.
Yeah, he's about 23, and if anybody, 23, 24. I think he's been Spider-Man for about 5 years at this point in the game, in this universe. If anybody hasn't played the game, or is interested in playing that game, cover your ears. You got 5 seconds. 1, 2.
At least he looks like Tom Holland there.
Yeah, because this one is this Peter in the game game universe is an orphan, because Aunt May dies in the game. She catches this disease that is going around. She didn't.
Jeez!
Doesn't die of the beer bug because she's
getting the crap.
She didn't overturn a dune buggy or something.
No, she didn't. She didn't. That's
the Spider-Mobile.
There's a disease that goes out and she gets it. And now I think about it, wow, that's really topical. But but they aged him now, and they said the reason why they did it is because it's going to make sense going forward in their production.
Oh, it's one of those trust us.
Trust us. It'll make sense later, and it's like. What about the old? What about the game that I got here with that face? I mean, I got the new game too, in the remastered game, because they went back. So they've gone back in the first game, remastered it, stuck it on this Miles Morales CD, and said, "Here it is, and here's the new face, and also you'll run across this Peter in the Miles Morales game and going forward." But I just look at this picture and I'm like, no one else got changed. Mary Jane didn't get de-aged. She still looks like she still looks like she works at Arby's. So why did Peter? Peter went from Jake Gyllenhaal to Tom Holland real quick, didn't he?
Well, I guess, are they trying to match what's in the movies? I mean, I don't know.
They said they're not. They said they're not. They said that it was, and they got voice actors and stuff. But I just wanted to show you guys that, and somebody had to draw that because those pictures are drawn. Those aren't rendered. That's drawn by someone.
It's rendered.
I don't know about
you think it's rendered?
Either.
I reckon it's rendered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's rendered too. I mean, they probably had somebody, touch it up, but if you have the asset, why start from scratch?
Well, they started from scratch on that, unless they because look at the eyes and everything's different.
It's weird.
Yeah,
it just looks like two different people.
I think it's probably just an attempt to make it look better in the new technology as well, because it's going to PS5. Yeah. So you may find that although she looks fine because of her features, his features might have looked terrible in the new tech, and they were thinking about changing it up anyway. So they just went a completely new model.
I'll take it though, because it could be PS3. Amazing Spider-Man, Peter Parker. At least that's gone.
Oh well,
that's Rob Liefeld. What are you talking about?
That's what like Rob. I just mentioned it.
Yeah.
It does like Rob Liefeld. How
in my day, we had polygons and we liked it.
Yeah. How important is that to make a character look the same out of costume, like forever? Like there were characters like I know that they said Todd McFarlane takes a lot of credit for changing MJ. He said everyone still had the same. Was it John Buscema hairstyle? John Romita hairstyle. Yeah. Hairstyle on her. How important is that to change? Like they try to keep the character the same because Bruce Wayne has changed subtly over the years. Now he's a cuck. But I'm sorry. I had to let that one out. But he's changed over the years. He doesn't look the same.
It seems to be a personal goal for anybody doing Spider-Man on a new or different version or different platform to put their own stamp on Peter Parker and make him look different. Just look at the cartoon series that they've done. That each one uses a different Peter Parker.
I remember when they changed. Greg Land took off Tony Stark's goatee. I had a fit. I had a fit. I couldn't even read the book. I'm like, who was this? Why couldn't he find a porn star for goatee?
I believe he had a pencil mustache.
I was about to say, but it's like, it's because he couldn't find reference for a goatee.
Yeah.
So
probably took too long to draw it. Yeah. Was it Greg Land?
Yeah, Greg Land. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that explains it.
Yeah.
Greg Land couldn't find a goatee he could trace.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
None of the models in porn had goatees.
No.
Yeah. I do have to look. It's like as much as I have a dislike for Greg Land, it's like I have to admit that was like the greatest moment in trolling in comics, because it's like everyone's like, we know it's from porn, but we don't want to admit that we know it's from porn.
Yeah.
Well, if you have to really talk about trolling, and as far as comics go, the couple of years, maybe 2 or 3 years that Fantagraphics spent going over Liefeld's work and showing how, you see this body style here? Well, if you take this picture from George Perez, blow it up just a little bit and superimpose it over top of the body, it's like,
wow.
They were pulling whole layouts out from Teen Titans and X-Men that Liefeld had been using.
But that was like a lot of them back then too.
But they Fantagraphics and Gary Groth really made a point of driving it home on Liefeld pretty hard for 2 or 3 years on in Comics Journal.
I mean, because that was a thing. I mean, there were like artists who they built their careers on Jim Lee's back. Just tracing Jim Lee layouts for their comics. So it's like that was like a thing. It's almost embarrassing to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just did not draw a goatee. Like, what does it have a reason? I mean, I think they tried to do it in the story, like he shaved it off because he had to go undercover, but it stayed like that for a few issues, which is okay, I guess, because it had to. But that was really, really weak. And
he started out with a pencil mustache anyway.
Right.
Yeah. We're just used to the goatee now, I guess. Here's the other thing too, by the way. You can't trick me. You can't fool me. You can draw Tony Stark as cool as you want to, but I artist know Christian Bale when I see him.
Oh.
Yeah. You can't trick me. You can't trick me. I know Christian Bale. I can. Hey, as a matter of fact, all Russ has to do is say these lines, and it's Christian Bale, because I know Christian's accent too. I don't know if Christian. Oh, Mark, you're muted.
That looked like either Christian Bale from the Prestige, or maybe from his early Batman training when he was over in the Atlantic area.
I mean, there really does come a point where it's like, look, I'm all for using reference and all that. I'm sure we all are. But the thing is, that there comes a point where it's like, bro, that's too much. You're probably spending more time pasting together scenes from movies than actually doing the work.
Exactly right.
Yep. Yeah. It's not a good way to make a comic strip. Yeah. It's not a good way to make sequential art, because eventually you'll run out of dynamics. You'll run out of energy. You can't just trace pictures and expect to tell a story.
Yeah.
You have to make it yourself. You have to be it creative. Right. That's why the comics in the old days were that much better. Because you had a bunch of drafts people. I'll say drafts people. Mm-hmm. A bunch of drafts people that knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Or you write out your story in advance and go out and hire the models.
Yeah, you can do that.
And then take pictures.
True.
But
even
I'm sure
then,
there are times that Raymond and Al Williamson did that at different points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the worst part is when you could tell when Greg Land wasn't using reference, and then all of a sudden his artwork was just off for some reason, and it's like, really?
Yeah, well, that's the difference.
Yeah.
If you look at older artists, you know that they all used reference,
Yeah.
all of them, but you couldn't tell how close they were getting to the reference from one panel to the next.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was a whole ladder there for a slogan for a while. Don't draw what you can't trace. Don't trace what you can't steal. Don't whatever.
Wasn't that Wally
because
Wood?
these guys were all making. I'm pretty sure it was Wood. Because all of these guys were up on a deadline, and they were, they had to do what they had to do in order to hit that monthly amount of pages.
Well, it was Neil Adams that said, don't let anybody tell you, any artist that says they've never traced is lying.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
I'm sorry, I was told to play that
King.
every time someone. I was told to play that every time someone mentioned Neil Adams. I'm sorry. I was told
oh well, yeah. I mean,
he's because you've got to get work done if you're a professional. If you're out there doing it day in day out, and this isn't necessarily comics. It's just any kind of artwork or any kind of artwork or design. There's going to be times when you've just got to get something done and out the door.
Greg used the same face 3 times here. I'm saying 1 to 4 times. 1, 2.
Oh, he probably just copy and pasted.
Yeah, and then he flipped it a couple of times as well, by the looks of it.
Yeah, he probably was a test for a Comics Blast.
Could be.
Yeah. By the way, that's also Greg Land's Tony Stark, who
okay, sure.
Who looks like a porn star.
Yeah.
But then you look at comics like that and it instantly they're impressive because of the color work and the lines and what have you. And then you start reading them and you realize that everybody's facing the same way, or that you
Good
see
morning, Michaela.
You see repeats of somebody's face and it's flat on and it's always the same face, and suddenly you realize that actually it's not visually enticing at all, and you don't really want to read it anymore. I understand that you've got to use shortcuts. I use shortcuts. Everybody does. Mm-hmm. But there comes a point where it stops being a skill and starts just becoming a chore. And you don't want that, because comic books are a communication between you and the audience. And much like we said Comics Blast was awful. The reason it was awful is because it was trying to take away the art. It was trying to take away the whole process of making a comic book and making it that much simpler that it was easy to do. Well, that's not the point. That's not the point at all. No, nobody wants it to be easy. They want it. They want it to be a process. And if you just start tracing everything and repeating everything, then it just becomes dull.
Stinch says, could Aunt May's birthday be recognized as May Day?
It could.
It really drives me crazy when we talk about Disney marketing, why they don't stake out May the 4th for all of their Star Wars premieres.
Yeah.
They used to. Well, not for the premieres, no.
Yeah, they got Star Wars Day.
They do it for that. Yeah.
John Slusher says the original Peter Parker had a Woody Allen vibe. Yeah, he was all bumbly and stuff. And Spider-Man. Then he got a deep voice, and that's where Christian Bale picked it up from. I think I'm gonna talk like this. I couldn't have kept it up, especially. I'll tell you something. I might show up as a superhero talking like this. Hey, everyone, I'm Captain, whatever. And then when the bullets get to shooting, I'm excuse me, let's get out of here now. Single file, everyone, single file. I turn into is it who does it very well? Somebody on the show does it very well. The old Jewish grandmother. The single file guy, single file. And especially that's when I dropped the hero right the minute bullets start firing. Me first. Move kid out of the way.
Isn't that like the Boys TV show?
Yeah, I'm tough into it. New book, by the way, guys. You can pick it up.
It's not sequential scrapbooking.
Yeah,
it's comic. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
you go pick that up, guys.
Jesus Christ!
And the first time I saw Greg Land's art, it was from the Marvel Ultimates. And that was actually, as I remember, it was really good. Like, it's very pretty. It does not have the problems that I saw later, where there's consistency throughout, and the storytelling worked. And it was later that I saw this art where you see a good image, and then the next image, the character does not, like, they look like a different person. So I kind of wonder what happened, if he just took on too much work and couldn't keep up the quality, because he really did do good art early on.
I knew him from CrossGen. What was the book? Sojourn.
Yeah.
And it was like, very pretty book, very attractive, but even back then I was like, honey, I have this copy of Victoria's Secret too. Even back then. And I remember, like, I think it was in Wizard or something, they showed how he put together, he laid out a piece. And it's like every little thing in the piece was traced from something, and he would overlay all these little traced pieces of paper to create the composition. And it was just like, even back then I didn't know how to feel about that. That's like, that's too much. It's too much work.
Like Stench said, sequential scrapbooking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I want to, tracing is, I'll trace my own stuff sometimes, especially when I got to redo the page. I'm not redrawing that image again. I'm going to trace it. And I'll trace Russ's stuff too and change it to my own. Done that to him and Eric quite a bit. They'll never know about it.
As long as you traced his name on it too, I think it's okay.
Yeah, but I changed it around though. I wrote my name in his font.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I really upset Daphne and Randy. We were off air, but do you guys know the origin of the Comic Sans font?
Oh yeah, really. I need Russ's take on this.
Yeah. Russ,
Here we go.
The guy who made the font says it is influenced heavily. He was influenced to make it, and it is the font used in The Killing Joke as well as Watchmen.
Okay.
Comic Sans.
Yeah, Comic Sans.
That he saw The Killing Joke and Watchmen and created Comic Sans.
Did he nail it? Did he miss the mark?
I mean,
I would. I still question that, because I think Comic Sans was out before Watchmen.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I have the book here.
I mean, what?
Let's bring up Comic Sans. Let me see. Let's bring. Can I bring up a picture of Comic Sans?
I should be able to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg really living up his name by doing landscaping on the layout.
Right.
Your name is your destiny. Whack back.
Yeah, that he saw those two fonts and created Comic Sans as a result, and I don't buy that. There's just no.
As a matter of fact, even it looks like I didn't notice until recently. Looks like Dave Gibbons even spoke up about it. He says inspiration from Comic Sans gives a verdict on this awful font. Dave Gibbons, the artist behind the legendary Watchmen comic series, gives his opinion on the font his work inspired. So he says, I think the Comic Sans font is dreadful. The guy that did it has said that he knocked it off in an afternoon.
Oh, sure. I could believe that.
Yeah.
Sure, Richard Starkins, the letter, is not very happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean, that's. I don't know.
What do you hate about Comic Sans? What's wrong with it?
What's there to like?
Not all at once now. Not all at once.
Okay, well, it's off. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, this is somebody who says, oh, this is what a comic book font is supposed to look like, but it's not. It's like probably the average person doesn't understand what they're looking at, but it's like, we know what we're looking at. And it's like, it's kind of hard to explain.
I put a link to another article where they talk about Batman, blame Batman and Watchmen for Comic Sans. You guys can check that out if you want. But it's also the most used font on resumes.
Which is oh my goodness.
Which is bizarre. Why would you use it on a resume?
Would you?
Good Lord.
Yeah.
You would think that would add to a lot of people's unemployment.
I was about to say, it's the most used font on resumes that never get the person hired.
I really don't want the job, so I'm going to use a font that looks like I was drunk when I put it together.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever used Comic Sans, but I'll tell you this. Lola uses this weird font on her phone. Every phone she gets, she changes the font to this weird.
I think I know which one. Yeah.
Yeah, squid, and I hate it. I hate it.
She says it's easier for her to read.
Yeah. I don't like it, I don't have the balls to change it back, mind you. But I don't like it, and I think it's the reason why all the phones tend to break early, because that font's not meant to be displayed.
Well, whenever I've done apparel design, I use Comic Sans whenever I'm putting something on there that it needs to look like a child wrote it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so uneven and so goofy looking that it looks like the guy said he did it in an afternoon. It's real obvious because he didn't use any guidelines or rulers or anything. He just sat there and wrote it all out and then vectorized it.
Yeah.
Turned it into a true type font. But that's the only time I use it. And even then I put an outline or a thicker outline around it in order to make it thicker.
Because it's like Comic Sans, like even like the kerning is off.
Yeah.
It's like it's just an amateurish kid font is what it is. Yeah.
You guys are gonna hurt whoever made Comic Sans feelings. They're probably sitting there trying to live, and here you guys are just.
I'm sure we're expressing opinions that they've heard at least once before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he doesn't have to watch.
This is not for him
like
anyway.
our podcast. Yeah.
You don't like my opinions? Close your ears.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to be here.
Yeah, they don't. Glenn says Comic Sans has fallen to the same abyss as Helvetica and Universe. And I found some really cool fonts that are annoying as well. I mean, I use Bada Boom. Yeah, Bada Boom. I found one yesterday called Back Pages, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the one I use. Yeah,
I use Bada Boom.
Yeah.
Bada
Boom, and there's another one too. Oh gosh, Kablam. Is it? I think it's Kablam or Kaboom. Yeah.
There's the one that JD uses. I think it's called Cubert something.
Cubert. Yeah. I sometimes some of those fonts are great for using as the start to sound effects.
Yeah.
So you can beef them up. You can play around with them, change the kerning and what have you. Then convert the whole lot to render the rasterize the type, and then start playing with each letter and doing different things with the letters. And it's amazing what you can do with them.
Right. You see, that's what you're supposed to do with those fonts. You're not supposed to use the blam, blam, blam straight out.
No.
I was going to say, but the wild and crazy sound effects font really needs to go.
Yeah.
That's as bad as comics font. Whenever I see that, whenever I see the same crash or the same squared off blam, 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 it's like, the letterer there really didn't give a shit.
Just, no, you're supposed to do stuff with that.
Where's that blam, blam, blam stamp?
Let me see if I'm guilty of that, because I was rushing.
We probably used it at least once.
We've all used it. Yeah. It's just that we've grown past it.
Yeah.
I did click click. I think I may have modified the click click. I may have modified it a bit.
Hang on.
Right. Well, that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
Yeah, you Bennett.
Yeah.
Had to make sure I didn't get in trouble with the Double Dragon game there. So I blurred it. After drawing it very nicely, I had to blur it because I know how stuff gets. Man, this book is horrible. Oh, I drew a sound effect too. I drew a scree. Wait,
you guys don't Ames guide sound effects? No.
Yeah, Randy won't teach me how to use an Ames guide. He won't teach me. He said that's a tool for an artist. I have no business using it.
It's a letterer's tool. Yeah.
Oh, I've forgotten this book. My booth girl is at the back of this book.
Oh, you had a booth girl?
Yeah, they have a bunch of booth girls. I had There they go. Now, okay, name of my company is Last Call Comics. All right. So I thought it would be funny. It's Lola in the middle. I thought it would be funny to call the girls the call girls.
Oh.
PayPal didn't think that was funny.
Oh no. PayPal is strict about that.
Yeah. Look at Marcus laughing at my misfortune. PayPal.
Unfortunate verbiage. Yeah.
Yes.
PayPal reached out and said, "You want your money?" And I said, "Yes, sir, boss." And they said, "You change your name immediately."
Yeah.
And I racked my brain. I'm like, I don't know what to call them. I mean, should I call them the Last Call Girls? He said, no, you can't have call girls in the title.
Right. Yeah.
Does anybody else find that disturbing? Because I
yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Well, they're a money transaction company. It's none of their business what you call your business, even if it's offensive. Even if it's offensive.
There's certain slang terms that they want to avoid in order to look at as being non-respectful.
Not get humor.
The thing that bothers me about PayPal and because I've seen artists completely get their accounts taken away from them because PayPal somehow figured out that it's like, oh, you used you did adult commissions.
Mm-hmm.
And and you violated our terms of service.
Mm-hmm.
And what it is that they'll take your account with the money in it. They will not give you your money.
Jeez.
If you have so I have a big problem with that.
Yeah.
Because their terms of service only says no pornography, but they don't qualify that statement with anything.
But again, as a service,
as
a financial service, it should be none of their business what you use the financial service for.
I agree.
Well, you would think the same thing about
what are the other options though besides PayPal?
Yeah, that's the thing. Because it's like PayPal claims that it's actually the credit card companies that are forcing them to follow these rules. But when you go to the credit card companies, they admit that there's no such rule that they have to follow. So this is all these companies deciding to do like some moralistic hand-wringing on something that shouldn't be any of their business.
The censorship rabbit hole.
If you go on eBay,
you
can buy material.
Look at YouTube and Facebook also for that kind of censorship. The First Amendment is just tossed out the window.
Well, again, now
eBay making a good point.
eBay owns PayPal, or PayPal owns eBay. You can go on eBay and buy the same material that they won't let us make.
Yeah, exactly.
And use the service to purchase it, and they're like, no one. We didn't see anything. But let me draw a pair of boobs and sell it.
Yeah. No, it's like when I was doing my Kickstarter for my sketchbook, I was paranoid the entire time. No, for real, because of this nonsense. Because in the end, it's like I didn't know like who might turn.
Yeah, Track has a good point. Everybody shouldn't have put notes on the pavement saying "Thank you for being a call girl" or "Call girl payment from last week."
Yeah, exactly. No, that'll do it too.
So we end up renaming the girls Shot Girls. Because,
okay, there you go.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, I'll call you Shot Girls, and they can't do anything about that. And the girls are a little bit happier too because they didn't get that to be
so they were no longer called call girls.
They were.
I could imagine.
Yeah. Of course, there's a whole poster series with call girls on it that they're like, you can tear out the poster if you want, but you're gonna have to sell it for cheaper. But it makes you like Russ said, and I remember telling them like, well. And they would go in, they would lock down our accounts. In fact, they still got one of my accounts locked down. It only had like $15 in it, but they locked it down for arbitrary reasons.
Yeah.
And they don't tell you why. They're like, oh, your account's locked. It's limited. I have found this though. Little secret.
Lie.
There'll be a little lie, but also if you can use your LLC. They're a little bit more lenient to businesses rather than they are a person. If you're a person, they'll cut you down quick. But a business, they're a little more lenient. And it's because I was limited once and I called like, hey, what's going on? Oh, we just needed to contact you and get some information. What's your address? I gave him the address. Okay, you're fine. It was like, oh, BS. No, there was an issue.
No, for real. Yeah.
Because they banned Lola for life at one point. Because they said she had done business with an account that they were investigating. And so it's like,
so they took it out on her.
Yeah, because you did business with this account. And it's like, I don't know, people buy stuff from eBay from us all the time. And we were really big on eBay at that point. We were selling double Skylander toys that she had those little, I don't know if you guys remember Skylanders.
Oh yeah.
We were selling those, and and some of the comics that I had made, and then they jumped up and banned her, and they said someone she did business with was under investigation.
Well, then what does that have to do with her?
Yeah, I argued that, and I remember the guy said, I remember drawing something for someone, and they said the guy wrote back in the receipt, "Thanks for the effing awesome picture."
Oh, and
they got mad about that.
That happened to another artist that I knew too. They did a commission, and the person wrote in the notes, "Thanks for the titties."
Yeah.
And they got their entire account ganked.
Yep. And I remember calling, and I got somebody in the UK when I called PayPal, and the guy said, over here, that's no big deal, but over in the States, you guys are a little bit more.
A lot more stringent. Yeah. Sticks in the mud.
Yeah. Over tits.
Yeah. No, for real.
Well, they need to figure out what's going. They freeze everybody's account until they figure out what's going on. But IRS does the same thing. I can attest to that.
What'd you do, Randy?
And they'll go back and audit everybody.
Saying thanks for the titties.
Yeah.
No, I didn't do that. I did some full page comics for Deja Vu Showgirls magazine years ago.
Wow. Okay.
And they went through the main office in order to try, because they were a tangled web of shadow companies and all sorts of directions. They went through, once they bumped into his office, they went through and caught everybody. They had a 1099 filing from him and audited everybody.
Wow.
Just boom.
Did you enjoy that?
Oh no, but like I've said in the past, it taught me that lesson to always have a freaking accountant.
Right.
Always. Yeah. When you're a commercial artist, because you never know the company that you work for as an independent contractor, what they've done might come back right onto you.
That's crazy.
They came back with interest and penalties and all sorts of wonderful things.
Trico says, Varian says, my comic company is called Street Comics, and they have girls that walk around the con. So 2 months later, well, if I let me send money to my street walkers. That's me.
No, but I mean, it'd be funny if it wasn't for the fact that has real consequences.
Yeah.
That's
my money.
That's the thing. No, for real.
They will now, was it 190 days to keep your money for? I think that's the newest.
Something. Yeah. It's like, if they give it back to you at all, it's like, that's why do not keep money in PayPal. PayPal is not a bank.
No.
Do not keep money in it.
Never do. Always take it out as soon as you've got it in there. Yeah.
Speaking of companies doing something that's kind of reprehensible, and I'm not gonna say the name of the company, but they tend to allow you to do videos. In fact, their whole business is videos.
I know. It sounds familiar.
We're currently on one of those platforms. They now say that they start with a Y, by the way. They say that they can put videos, like ads, in your videos now without paying you.
No, they've been doing that for a while. That's the whole when they first demonetized everybody after the purge. It's like okay, now you have to have like certain video, like certain hours and things like that.
Yeah.
But they still run ads on your videos. It's like no. You see, they still get to make money off of your content.
Yeah.
You just don't make money off of your content.
Yeah. And that's why I pay for YouTube Premium. Damn, I'm not watching a commercial. No. I hate when I realize I'm not.
Now. It's awful.
I realize when I'm not logged in on Premium, like on my tablet or something, I'm like, a commercial. What is this? Oh.
Yeah, if you're on a PC, use Brave.
Yeah. I use.
I don't get any ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use, I forgot the name of the thing, but yeah, I have an ad blocker on mine too. Because when I watch videos on my phone, it's impossible.
Yeah.
It's like I thought I was watching YouTube, not Hulu.
I was told I had a fancy version of Hulu because I pay the extra not to have commercials. Because no commercial can stand between me and Law and Order.
Right. Oh yeah. No, because Hulu. Because what's worse is that they just put the commercials in anywhere. There's no sense of any timing. Mm-hmm. So you're in the middle of a suspenseful scene and then commercial.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just
then they come back and you watch the 5 seconds.
Yeah. Pluto's been getting really bad about that lately too.
Yeah.
They've been throwing commercials in whenever.
Yeah.
And Randy, like I accidentally was it Pluto that I accidentally told you about? And,
yeah, you did. It's your fault.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Randy was in front of TV a lot more, and he found Fail Army and a couple other checks.
The WPT channel and all the old Doctor. Well, not all of them, but the old Doctor Who's are up there. They have representative episodes from all of the different older, not all the male doctors, but all the guy doctors up to McCoy. The old stuff, the old half hour shows. But they're still fun to laugh at because of the toilet paper tube spaceships and some of the writing on those are still really good.
Horrible. We've
awesome.
Doctor Who. Although the wife got me a Doctor Who toy the other day, and a little figure she found. I don't know where she got it from. She goes to all these different stores. She's like, "Hey, look what I got, 50 cents." And I'm like, "Oh,
that's not 50 cents."
Yeah, like it doesn't have bullet holes. Where is it?
That's a blue box.
Yeah, I'm looking for. But she buys me little stuff, and it's like sometimes it's stuff like I have no idea.
I was getting every Doctor Who tchotchke under the sun for Christmas for a few years, and I just quietly said, "Please, you don't have to do this." Once you got the sonic screwdriver pizza cutter, that was enough.
Right? Yeah, that's when it stops being cute.
Yeah,
I got a friend of mine a sonic screwdriver, and she kept it in her purse. And I'm like, well, that's a pretty weird place to keep it. She's like, it vibrates, and I'm like, yeah, but I don't. I don't want to ever touch that again, ever. I thought that you were wholesome.
Yeah. I don't want to wash your hands after that.
Who knew? Yeah. Just looking at her just with the mean face on. Guys, I think that if you get a chance to, we're gonna be doing we're gonna do some updates to Indie Vault TV. Daphne,
U-Blocker, yeah.
We got some more content. I got through talking to people. We're gonna put some more content on there very soon. But there is a guy who has he wanted me to put up his he did Dr. Fate movie. I can't put that up, sir. He's like, oh, but you got to check it out. And I'm like, I'm not gonna put it up, but I can't because it's DC's property. I mean, I guess I could, but
was it a parody or? I mean,
it was a fan film. Has he put it anywhere else? Where can I watch this?
He actually sent me the link. I'll send it to you.
I love Dr. Fate.
Yeah. I'll send it to you. It's Dr. Fate, and for some reason, I don't want to give it away, but a Marvel character shows up.
Oh, even better. Cool.
Oh crap! I can't believe I'm
forgetting. Good on him. Yeah,
but it's like if it's a fan film, I mean, it's like, are they like really uptight about that? I mean, I haven't watched fan films in a while.
Sometimes they are.
Moon Knight shows up. That's right. Moon Knight shows up.
And really?
Yeah. It's like, okay, all right. I can see those two guys getting together.
Now hopefully, my curiosity is really peaked. Yeah.
If you're Dr. Fate, what do you need Moon Knight for?
It's
that's worse than Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
It's The Rock's, but at least this is a fan film. I can expect that from a fan film.
I have a friend of mine who's been making these like micro fan films, and he desperately wants promotion and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, I can't do it. Not through Geek Insider. And I don't even feel comfortable doing it through my own social channel.
Right, yeah.
Because, and this goes back to like a middle school experience, junior high experience that I had, where my friends and I, we were just like so into Star Wars, and Indiana Jones was out and all that stuff, and we did all of these parodies and stories and things like that. And because we were like super fans, we actually wrote a story. We basically had a notebook, we passed it to each other, and we worked on it during study hall or homeroom or whatever. We passed it around. We made a really awesome story, in my opinion, you know. And then we sent it out just as a fan saying, we love your character so much. This is what we created. And we sent it to George Lucas. It never got to him, but we did get a cease and desist.
Wow.
Wow.
That was not even wow. Okay.
That must have been really good.
But yeah, I mean, so we got a cease and desist, and it was like,
you to stop being a fan. They told you to cease.
No. What happened was I stopped writing fan fiction. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. You know, I mean, it's like, because what's funny is that, you know, because it's like, yeah, I went through a fan fiction phase and fan film, and you know, but it's like
I was 11.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, it's like they're sending a cease and desist to an 11-year-old. I mean,
it's all about money, isn't it? It's like it's when you look at artists in conventions drawing sketches of characters like you know, Marvel characters.
Oh yeah,
Marvel don't go after those people. Okay, they don't go after them because it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you start putting out decent films, okay, you're going to take away from the crap that they're putting out at their end. Ergo, what I've seen from the Star Trek fan films.
Right.
Okay, and they've had a terrible time being, you know, cease and desist.
Oh yeah.
And it's because what they were putting out was actually, much like Randy said, they were really good.
Yeah.
So it becomes threatening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say that to Meredith. You must have really threatened them in order for them to send you a cease and desist, as opposed to a friendly letter of don't ever do that again.
Yeah, I mean that's ridiculous.
The Bat and the Sun films are like that. I feel like sometimes they actually like they had that wolf. I can't show the scene, but they had Wonder Woman versus Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
And and I'm like, I'm like, this is epic. I love it. Their Batman is good. And I watch those. I can get lost in those, but you know, I'm pretty sure
Darth Vader.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure they mag. I hate with some sensitivity.
Their Wonder Woman looked a lot more like
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, should look like.
Yeah.
The problem is
more fierce and a lot less runway model.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
It's because
she
these
looked like she would play a punch on you.
Proper fan
she had a
fiction.
good mean face, like she really looked intense, not like, oh, I'm gonna go save the world with love.
Proper fan fiction.
Over there? Let me see about this. No,
stop that.
You look like
you've got
I'm
hair.
A warrior. I'm here to hurt you. Oh, Wolverine? Yeah, I got a sword out.
Yeah.
Come on.
What do you do? Proper fan fiction, Russ?
Proper fan fiction is done with passion.
Yeah, it really
not the crappy. Sorry.
It's okay.
Not the crappy Twilight stuff. All right, we're talking about real, you know, proper fan fiction that people are passionate about these franchises, and when it's done with passion, it's always good.
Yeah.
Okay, 9 times out of 10. And the problem is just like Mark has been saying, like somebody put some effort into recreating the passion that they had for the comic rather than putting out a product for the masses.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is the passion product always ends up looking better.
Yeah. You can. Well,
No,
that's
absolutely,
kind of the difference with, you know, what's going on with the Mandalorian and the new movies. You can see the passion in the Mandalorian.
I've been watching the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I've not seen it up to now, and I've been look at that.
That's
Yes. Sorry, I said it that way.
Big lives save lives.
yes.
Quite a bit more messed up.
Yeah.
As the fight goes on, they get less dainty. Very
yeah.
I think
that's why I liked Atomic Blonde so much. I mean, especially that last scene, Charlize Theron was just like an animal, you know.
Also, Well, no, I was gonna say it, but no, I'll keep my mouth shut for now. But I do like those Bat in the Sun films, and that Wonder Woman. I did start following her on Twitter afterwards, like in hopes that she'll she kind of reminds me of Gina Carano, which I know they wanted her to play a couple different roles, but apparently she's on her way to being canceled. So
that's what makes the animated Star Wars stuff so good, because Filoni, you could tell, has got that passion. He understands what Star Wars is about, because once they get past the first, on both Clone Wars and Rebels, once they get past the first year and realize that they don't have to do little kitty stuff, they really turns into real Star Wars material that's just super enjoyable.
I was okay with their Bat in the Sun Wolverine. I thought too, listen, I know everyone keeps saying, oh, they should get Scott Eastwood for Wolverine. And I don't want them to do that. I think Scott Eastwood would make a horrible Wolverine. Horrible Wolverine. The guy that I want, and they'll never do it because Hollywood hates me, is I think they should get this gentleman here. Now, I know that he might not fit the Hugh Jackman look, and he's short too.
Technically, Hugh Jackman didn't fit the Wolverine look.
No,
right? He was a last-minute replacement.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it was going to be Danny DeVito.
Christian
the guy
Kane.
from Leverage, right?
Christian Kane.
Yeah, he could do it.
I don't know.
Stocky.
Yeah,
he could do it, but
I can see him doing it.
He looks a lot like a Wahlberg there, though.
Yeah.
I was going to say, he looks a lot like my friend Kyle Hester.
Well, let Kyle do it then.
Exactly.
Look, I'm getting tired of the tall, thin Wolverine. Some people.
I'm tired of tall, thin everything.
They're gonna make isn't
like Wolverine? He's like 5'1" or something. Like he's my height, you know.
He's like 5'1", 5'2", yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm okay as long as I say taller than a Wolverine. That's how I feel.
Okay. It's like the size of an actual Wolverine.
Yeah.
Not about Wolverine, but I would like Matt Berry for the Black King.
That's me.
Hellfire Club.
Yeah, I could. Well, see, I don't think they'll do the Hellfire Club, because apparently you can't put the word hell and fire in anything.
Oh, wow. That's a whole, and then you have everyone walking around in lingerie and stuff, and the whole thing.
Yeah. I wasn't even, I just their group.
They'll put him in the group eventually.
About 8 or 9 months ago, I posted a guy that one of the side characters from Hawaii Five-0, that if they don't make Namor, they're really missing out, because he looks exactly like Namor.
Oh yeah, the Asian guy. I forget his name.
He is just dead on. Buff him up a little bit, he's good to go.
Yeah.
Because he'd have to go without a shirt or some other outfit. Wow. Yeah, he's underwater anyway.
Right.
Speedo. Just putting the wings on the ankle would probably be the rough part.
You know what? I don't think they'll put the wings on the ankle. They'll probably put do it as a tattoo or something weird.
Yeah.
They'll just CGI him in.
Yeah, probably.
I can't imagine those wings on his ankle. I just can't. I
can't. No.
And he should be lucky that apparently Robert Downey Jr. is done with the MCU, because that'd be jokes.
Yeah.
That'd be jokes about what's going on with your ankles, Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
What's going on with you?
Well, how else are you going to swim fast underwater if you don't have wings on your ankles? No, just kidding.
Yeah. Lola just said they'll accuse me of drinking Red Bull.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Give you wings.
And if those Red Bulls there, you lay off. I'll let everybody tell where they can be found.
Phenomenal product placement, though.
Yeah,
potential. Yeah.
Non-spawn.
Comic Book Ronin. I'll make sure the passion on the Jeremy fan fiction will be on full display.
There you go.
Corey Scott says, wasn't there some service in Kindle a few years ago where it was basically allowing and paying for fanfic for certain properties?
Oh, I don't know.
That be. Yeah.
Couldn't tell you, but if it helped the YA industry, I would like to curse it.
I mean, I don't see how Kindle would be able to do that. I mean,
the Amazon could do anything. We're Amazon.
Wow.
Well, that's true now. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Ding, ding.
It's like we're Amazon. We're gonna buy everything.
It's like, we're Amazon. Fight me.
Yeah. They're buying stuff. Did you guys know that? By the way, Disney Plus announced besides announcing that they announced they're going to redo Home Alone.
Why?
Exactly.
Yeah, they're redoing Home Alone.
Why?
No, that wasn't their announcement. They're making another announcement soon, and I know it's going to be. Hey guys, I know what the announcement is going to be. Did you enjoy that price? Too bad. It's gone.
Exactly. Yeah.
But they announced they're going to redo Home Alone, and I'm like, oh no. There was a really funny script though.
It's going to be real interesting to see because all of that slapstick physical comedy is pretty much cruelty anymore.
Yeah. Well, there was before Fox was working on a project with Ryan Reynolds called Stoned Alone, where a guy gets high and they're trying to break into his house. And it was going to be a Home Alone parody. And they were working on it, but then Disney bought Fox, so we'll probably never see it now.
Okay. Well, maybe that might be for the best too.
I've given up.
Like we can't go. We need this project, Ryan. We need this project. Can you get it? Look, leak it like you did Deadpool. We know you did it, Ryan. We know you did it. But
we could still do it and use Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah. He can be Kevin. Yeah. He's high at home, and Marv comes back for one last piece of revenge.
They're back.
Yeah, and he's
suddenly the Christmas time PTSD kicks in.
Right.
And he rigs up his house. It's actually his parents coming home.
Oh boy.
Oh, that was horrible. That's horrible. That'd be great.
You're back. Acid flashback.
Yeah. I think the father's passed away though. The guy played the father, so they have to get a new father.
Just CGI him in.
Oh.
We'll fix it in post.
It'll work.
Yeah.
Like what you were talking about with Han Solo.
Yeah. We'll put him back in.
The CGI him in. Yeah. Have a stand up. They did it to Grand Moff Tarkin. Anyway.
Yeah.
In Rogue One.
I mean, I think his animation was better than the Carrie Fisher one.
Oh,
so,
yeah. That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see them. Although they've said no body double, no CG replacement for Chadwick.
No, because they had contingency plans already in place and things set up. They want Shuri in there anyway. So she's going to wear that outfit a lot sexier than he did. Instant sales, all new toys. New toys are tight.
That's right. New toys are tight.
Is that copyrighted? Has that guy copyrighted the word tight yet?
The funny thing is that tight has two different meanings because I use tight differently than the way Randy does.
Yeah, well,
maybe.
Why are you wearing toys? That's of course that's not comfortable.
That's the kids these days.
There's tight as in this is great, this is what everyone wants, and then there's tight as in I'm tight, which means that I'm really pissed
wound
off.
up. I'm wound up. Yeah. That's the definition I use.
I think it's that guy who does the pitch meetings, delivery on Screen Rant that makes it all. It's not necessarily what he says, but it's the cutting and the delivery between himself and himself that just makes those.
He broke down
so
how
funny.
He did that. He broke down how he does it. Yeah, and I watched a video him talking about how he does it. But there's a third definition for tight. Apparently, and my father used to tell me all the time, don't tell your mother we bought this. She's tight.
Oh, well, that's
yeah.
It's a lot of definitions for that. Just her purse strings are tight.
My father, when I was a kid, he wakes up on one afternoon because he would work nights, and he came. Hey, let's go. There was this full size. You go to those amusement parks or like Chuck E. Cheese or Dave & Buster's, and they have a basketball hoop you shoot, and the ball rolls way back down to you. Well, they had small ones, but back in the late 80s, early 90s, they had full size ones. So my dad was like, "There, let's go buy you one." What it really was, he wanted to play basketball in the house. That's really what it was. And I'm like, okay. So we went to the store, we found one, and they had them at I think it was Dunham's. It was $2.99, and he bought it for me. And I said, Daddy, that's expensive. And he said, don't worry about it. I said, yeah, you're right. So he's putting it up, and he started having second thoughts. He's like, maybe you're right. Maybe it is expensive. So he's putting it up, and I'm kind of, at this point, I've switched roles now. Now I'm telling him, yeah, Dad, we put this basketball hoop up, and we're shooting baskets. And then my mother pulls up in the driveway. And before my father could say anything, I've jumped in the bed and covered up and closed my eyes. And I remember him, I think my father whispered, you little motherfucker, because I was in the bed. I remember my mother came home and she looked in the bedroom and she said, Calvin, what in the hell is that in his room? He wanted it.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, and he's asleep. And he but the basketball hoop stayed. It stayed. Corey has posted up Action Neighbors in Reverse, Home social commentary on Vietnam.
Oh my goodness.
Now that To Kill a Mockingbird is banned again, Tom and Jerry will be banned 17 states in time. Yeah, they're making a new movie. Corey Scott posted the link for the Kindle Worlds. It's a Wikipedia entry. Go check that out. Apparently, they were allowing
Kindle Worlds
fan fiction.
Yeah, yeah, allowing fan fiction.
Wow,
which is probably where Marvel's getting a lot of talent from. So if you're looking for a job, go over there and you can say, hey, I want to do a comic where Black Widow and Storm get together, and they're going to be the Biddo. That's what we're going to call them. Biddo.
Oh my god!
And it's going to be awesome. Ugh.
No.
Where can they find you at, Daphne?
Oh, me. Where can they find me? Well, if Funny Animal Fantasy is your thing, go to Tall Tales, TAILS online.com, and sign up to get the first 3 issues of Tall Tales as downloadable PDFs for free. And if you're also into art tutorials, demos, and the occasional live stream, you can find me on YouTube at Daphne Lage, Lage Art.
There's no giraffes in Tall Tales.
No, the neck is too long.
that could be part of the gag. You've never seen the word balloon always has to come down from above.
Yeah.
You should make sure that when they do, you do have a draft.
And then you have like scenes where like when they finally look up and they're like, that's what you're wearing?
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Never look up.
Yeah.
Got all kinds of crazy hats, and maybe it's got a face tattoo on the giraffe.
They have
snorkel.
To smoke. They have to be a smoker. They have to be a smoker. They have to be.
Could be a great running gag.
Oh, I have smokers in my comic.
They look up, there's just a neck, there is no head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nice haircut.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Meredith, where can they find you at, ma'am?
All right, you guys can head over to geekinsider.com, and I'm one of the associate editors there. And for my website, you can go to merej99.com, and I've got to update it, but that is where you can find all of my socials. And creepy stalk me. Just don't peek in my windows.
There you go.
I've had the honor of seeing one of Meredith's first websites that has been kept online for some reason. And
crazy, right? GeoCities.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was about to make a MySpace joke. That's even older.
Yeah. And Meredith, oh my goodness, it's here, and we found it, and we brought it up on screen, and me and her, we weren't on air, but we laughed at the blinking GIFs and everything. Some things have been
the web rings,
the fire thing.
Yeah, I had a web ring. I had all kinds of graphics. Yeah,
wow. Under construction.
Yeah. We it's all everyone's site was always under construction. Remember that?
Thanks, Stitch.
Mark, where can they find you at?
Facebook at Mark Darden or the Guano Guy, depending on whether you just want the stuff about the comic or other stuff going on. Issue number 3 has been showing up in people's hands, and issue number 4, we're going to put it out early next year. So, and it's already being put together. We got pages and cover, and it's going to be fun.
Cool.
You see that pile behind me?
You still got to read that?
Those are unopened Kickstarters.
Yeah, I have that.
That I've been meaning to do, package reveals for, and I've got her stuff, her sketchbook.
Yeah.
I've got his stuff. Yeah, I gotta get on that.
Yeah.
I have a question for you too, Mark.
Yeah.
Real weird question, because I always ask Randy this too.
This is not about call girls, right?
No. Everybody,
it better not be about our porn careers.
No, listen, when I it was called Kid Prom, okay?
Everyone on the show has a pretty much, I mean, for the most part, a famous last name. How's Christopher doing?
Yeah,
okay?
right. Yeah.
Is he okay? How's he doing? He hanging in there?
It's a wide-reaching family, and our family does not discriminate.
I always when Mark comes on, I'm like, Mark Darden, and I'm like, I always mean to ask you, like, how much hell have you got throughout the years for that name? But
sure, yeah. When I was in basic, I definitely got asked about that. They're wondering like where my other relative came from.
Yeah. Like, funny. You don't look Irish. That's something. That's pretty cool. Now, the cousin of Robin Leach, Russ Leach, is here with us.
Robin Leach.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna do the comic book version of that on IndieVote TV. It's gonna be lifestyles of the starving and financially insolvable.
Yeah. the offshoot family members that weren't a part of the really
Russ could narrate that show like, watch here as Varian uses an EBT card to acquire tonight's meal, and I'm just,
Well, what I really want to track down is what my connection is to Darden family restaurants that owned Red Lobster and Olive Garden. That's the like, where am I in that? Because if I could
get some of that.
Lean into that side of the family, maybe.
Really.
Yeah.
It's not my fault that my relatives stopped talking like 2 generations or 1 generation back. Actually, it was only 1
because someone stole a cow.
Yeah.
Listen, just because my grandfather and you had an argument, don't hold that against me.
Yeah. Let me get in that bank account real quick. Hold on. I've told this story many times. I applied for the Varian grant. It didn't work. They didn't keep paying the T-shirt. It's my name, guys. They're like, no.
I'm literally on the.
Yeah. Better luck next time, kid.
They did send him a copy of all their tchotchkes, though.
Yeah. It's keychain and the T-shirt.
Yeah, so it's got the keychain and the T-shirt he can show off.
Funny thing about that is that a couple years later, when I was working in General Motors, they pulled a fan out of a machine and it said Varian on it. The company had made it, and they set it right next to my machine. I'm like, this is your machine.
Has your name on it.
All right. Very funny, guys. Yeah. Russ, the voice of the broken insolvent, coming to IndieVote very soon.
I am broke and insolvent.
You know,
this is true. But I don't care. That's a good thing.
They can watch me eat. You can narrate as I eat potted meat.
Potted meat.
Yeah. Randy always says ugh when I have it. He doesn't like my potted meat. That's what I want in America too.
Spam. Time for spam. Are you talking Vienna sausages?
Potted meat. Not so much as the potted meat is delicious. It's good stuff. Where can they find you, Edward?
Right. Okay. You can find me in the aisle 2 next to the potted meat. You can find me on YouTube as Comic Book Black Belt. My channel there could do with some help and some growing. It's got various different videos on there about my process and some interviews and bits and pieces, and also a full production. A full set of videos following the production of my book, Only Death Can Save Us. You can find me at russleach.com. You can find me at comicbookblackbelt.com. You can find out more about my book, Only Death Can Save Us, at onlydeathcansaveus.com. And there is a link there for you to go to the Indiegogo. We have hit our target on that and blasted through $10,000. Thank you very much.
Sweet.
Everybody
awesome.
supported.
Good
but it's in demand. It's going out to print and will be getting into people's hands February, January, February next year. So it's final production, but because it's in demand, I will be honouring all the stretch goals. And there's a rather lovely embroidered patch ready to go out to people if we can hit another. I think it's about another $900. So cool. Anybody out there, get on to In Demand and go back the book. And yeah, that was a grift. That was a grift. You can also find me in the usual places on the Instagram, on the Fleecebook, on the Twitter, and over at Parlay when it decides to work.
Yeah. And Russ, Only Death Can Save Us, not a political statement, is actually the name of his book. Sometimes I feel like, you know, how to fix things. You need to go and pick that book up. Pick up also Guano Guy from Mark Darden. Pick that up. Daphne Lage has books. Meredith is working on her first book. And Meredith, how's that going, by the way? I meant to ask, are you almost complete, or are you?
Well, the first 8 pages are going into Terraform Comics under Continuum, and I am waiting for the last 3 pages of those 8 pages to come back as the roughs. And at some point, I'm actually going to attempt the lettering. And if it's shit, and I have a lot of people who are going to tell me whether it is or not, then I'll hire somebody, because I really don't want to part with the money because I don't have enough coming in. I'm paying for the art.
We're gonna you run that lettering past us, Meredith. We'll come together like this, like the World Council.
Yeah, no Comic Sans. There's no Comic Sans in my world. Okay?
Everyone, when Meredith sends you a copy, everyone turn off the light in front of you and just light your back.
Oh,
so shadows, and just use this word like, Meredith, I've seen your book.
Well, I sent Meredith a video, so hopefully, that works out.
Yeah. You can find me KYD_V on Twitter. Message me there, although I might not message you back. Facebook, or you can find me in the supermarket aisle, hanging out next to one of my other favorite microwave dishes.
Sponge pudding.
Sponge pudding, which is I've never had, but it's
spotted dick.
And it's microwavable.
Microwavable spotted dick.
Right in that can. Right in that can.
Not in the can.
Put it in the microwave and see what happens.
Kaboom!
You're bound to get a little bit of spotted dick right there. Okay.
What do we have? Is there cows being led to the slaughter? That's how.
No. Those cows being used in a
sweatshop
in exchange for humans by zombies.
Oh boy!
Yeah, and we got a grown man in a hippo suit crying. I mean, what comic gives you that?
Yeah. Did you say that? Mark, did we say we can find? We said we can find you, didn't we?
Yeah. Facebook. Or Guano Guy. Either one.
And of course, lastcallcomics.com for me, and Indie Vault, ledg.us for distribution. If you want to get your comic in stores, contact me over there. And there's Bill. So pretty. And also, you can find me here. I'll be back Tuesday with Mr. Zimmerman. I got my own YouTube channel too, where I talk crap and draw. I may do some of that today. Who knows? If I feel rather cantankerous. I usually get. I usually have more standards and practices over there than I do here. Seriously, when I'm on my own channel, my phone is going off. Don't say that. Stop saying it. Stop. Why are you still saying it? It's great.
You're hitting the absinthe again. Please stop.
Very fun times over there on my channel. So check that out too. Randy, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Facebook under Randy Zimmerman. You can find me under Twitter as Randy Zim. I don't tweet very often, but when I do, it's as Randy Zim. You can catch me on the Zim Geek channel, ZIMMGEEK on YouTube. Please go over there, like and subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. And while you're over on YouTube, please do the same for Indie Vault. We are desperately looking to hit that 1,000 mark, just so we can be afraid of all of the YouTube content restrictions.
Exactly.
And maybe be able to afford Super Chat. So soon the Indie Princess won't be the only one getting tips.
Yeah. By the way, this particular version has a boozy custard sauce inspired by Logan. So that's the movie Logan, I guess. And is it hairy? Does it self-heal?
Fuzzy? No, it just regenerates. That's all.
I don't like that. That picture's giving me I'm having some kind of fit.
And perhaps has bad taste. Yeah.
That's not good.
you pour the sauce in the middle, and then it just all pours out. With
looks like a massive zit.
Yeah.
It's like this dessert has everything going wrong for it. Stop.
Yeah.
all the things wrong. All the things.
So we can
just throw some fondant on it. It'll be okay.
Yeah, some fondant. Yeah, we'll call Buddy and Duff in. Hey, can you guys fix this? Something's wrong with my spider.
I love the pitch meeting episodes. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us,
Take care,
guys.
fellas.
Tristan.
Great
Glenn.
show, Glenn.
Thank
says,
you. Thank you.
Hey, Glenn.
You can catch us
We try.
next.
Eventually, we crank something out.
Yeah.
You can catch me next Sunday morning on the Sunday Funnies program, where we talk about comics that are more lighthearted and whimsical than your realistic, dark comics that you see around a lot nowadays. Then we'll be back on Tuesday nights at Sunday Funnies, by the way, is Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Our usual Indie Vault podcast is on at 9 p.m. on Tuesdays. Also, that's Eastern time, so you might want to adjust your clock around the world and expect that. We run that live on. We run all of our broadcasts live on Indie Vault Radio, and then we'll be back. Wednesday night is Geekgasm, where we run a show about fandom from a more feminine perspective, hopefully, that both Daphne and Meredith will be co-hosting for a little while until Indie Princess gets well and is able to take those reins back. And then again, Thursday morning for the old breakfast buzz. We'll be back here again at 9 a.m. Eastern time to do this all over again. And you can catch us online at Indie Vault Radio from indievault.com. You can get us through the Google Play app. You can get an app on Google Play. You can also get an app from Streama, right?
Yeah, you can download the Streama app and type in.
Download the Streama app and get it there. If you ask Alexa nicely, she might be able to turn you on to Indie Vault Radio as well. What?
Yeah, but she will. She'll turn. She'll play Indie Vault Radio for you.
She'll turn on Indie Vault Radio for you. We also have a Roku channel, Indie Vault TV, on your Roku box. Please go over there for some movies, some wrestling, and some extended play podcasts, much like this, only, maybe a little bit more behind the scenes stuff and things that we wouldn't want to put on YouTube. So we are always interested in your comments. Indie Vault Live at indievault.com. Please include Indie Vault Live, or you can put Breakfast Buzz there in the subject line. We'll know what it's about. And please keep your emails to 90 words or less, so that Varian will be able to put them on a card and actually so that he can read the entire content without falling asleep. But and remember, there's no subject or subject matter that you could ask us that's too serious or too silly. Our feedback will be better because of your setback. Hashtag get an education, hashtag Indie Vault. So don't be afraid to send in those comments, suggestions, emails, whatever you need. And where next Tuesday we will be addressing Eric's more of Eric's questions that he sent us. He sent us a long email of 27 really good questions and some awesome points that we've been addressing as we go along. So we barely scratched the surface on that email. So look forward to that on Thursday, or on Tuesday, I should say. Is that it?
That's it.
That's it.
I'm gonna gross Russ out when we go off air.
As soon as we're off the air, you're going to gross Russ out?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to get some spotted dick.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Banana flavored.
Banana flavored. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. On our way out the door, we want to remind the immortal words. We want to remind all of you of the immortal words of Jack Kirby. Kid, comics will break your heart.
Yeah.
We hope everybody has a great week, a good weekend. Stay healthy, be good. Mind your individual restrictions as you may find them. Everybody has different restrictions.
Yeah.
But do take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you soon. Is that it? Any last words?
That is it.
That is
All right.
it. Yeah.
Everybody, take care.
Exit stage left.
Exit stage left.
Yeah.
you've accomplished.
You bunch of losers! You're working with a professional here!